where we left off, you guys are in the depths of the Amber Temple. You have explored at this point the vast majority of it, if not all of it. And at Heinrich's direction, you were able to find a secret room hidden in the northwest corner of the temple that held none other than a undead lich who seems to be unable to remember his name. After a little bit of back and forth, it seems the group got frustrated and headed off in different directions. Sten and Alastair are currently trying to copy down the blueprints and map of the model of Ravenloft Castle that was chilling in one of the rooms. Andar has headed to the center of the temple and is waiting for everyone there in front of Heinrich. And Adunbi's been running around and exploring on his own. Mim, Irina, and the Lich have entered into the library as Mim has convinced the Lich to walk around with her and give her a tour of the place. Did I miss anything, or is there anything else anyone wants to cover before we get started? Go once, go twice.
So.
All right. So, in the meantime, what do you guys want to do?
The map table in front of us.
Yes.
The dollhouse looking thing in front of us. When you lift off sections, does it show anything on the inside, or is it just purely empty rooms?
So it shows a general layout of each room, and certain rooms seem to have limited furniture and or kind of painted assets that might indicate the purpose of a room. Even a quick glance will show that not all the rooms match what you've seen in the castle itself, modern day.
Is there anyone who signed their work on here?
Roll me an investigation check.
Can I assist as I am there at the table?
You'll never believe this. I rolled a 1. But with Alastair, 19.
Hell yeah, good.
All right. The 19. There is a signature on the cornerstone of the castle that seems to read Artemis. Artimus.
It's foul.
Oh, Artemis.
Anyone we've heard of before? Ever?
Roll me a history check.
Yes, sir. Let me get back to my character sheet. No. 6.
No.
Artemis. You know that name?
I do not. Casimir, do you?
I do not recall it individually, but judging by the location of this model, I presume he was one of the wizards here.
You were in the catacombs? Were there nameplates in there?
Are you asking Alastair or are you asking Casimir?
The room. Screw it. Castle Ravenloft. Tell me, diorama.
What have you seen?
Were there nameplates in there?
Hold, please.
Do you have to be, maybe this is an Andar question. Do you have to be dead to become what, that figure was in the room? I wonder if he's been buried and then came back or something. Or maybe he just already looked like that. Scurvy's a hell of a thing.
It does not appear that there are nameplates, no.
Okay.
Gotcha.
You would have noticed though that so basically a refresher of that room, there are not nameplates, but there were the variety of catacombs holding human-shaped amber husks, bones, and tattered shrouds. Some of them had various jewelry and articles and things on them. Some of them did not. And as you entered, the candles ignited, lighting up the room and kind of glowing off of the amber. But pretty much everything seemed... all of the people seemed rotted away, but some of them still seemed decorated in... whether they were fine robes or jewelry or artifacts of different kinds. Some of those things still remained. But no, there were no nameplates.
There were no nameplates, but I do wonder how he came to be what he is, I guess, and when exactly that happened.
I don't think we'll get the chance to know if he keeps acting like he's acting, or being like he's been. I don't know.
Maybe something around here could jog his memory? I mean, I don't know if it's worth working on this a little bit later.
But I'm sure when I asked Mr. Strahd earlier what his name was, and he said, you should ask him yourself. I'm realizing now that that was a funny joke for him.
Yeah.
But, I mean, they're the only two living things in here. Maybe he knows a little bit more.
Living seems to be a stretch.
You're one to talk.
What would imply that I am undead?
Yeah, you're like 400 years old or whatever.
Yes, but my heart still beats.
I think the man in the statue's heart still beat. Never mind. Can you help us a little bit, Casimir?
I'm not good with a pen. At least to this level of detail.
Then you can hold the pieces while we draw.
All right.
And he comes and he lifts up a piece for you.
So DM question.
Fire.
So apparently I'm not the first player in the world to do this, and I found a map that gives the layout, but absolutely no info. So, could we
Of
circle
Ravenloft?
up? Yeah.
Yeah, DM it to me. I'll take a look and see if it's
All right, bet.
acceptable.
I just love the, can I have it?
I mean, that was going to be something that I did later, so thanks for saving me some time.
Yeah, no problem. But yeah, so I asked about the rooms because like the rooms aren't even labeled. Like none of this is labeled what it is.
Yeah, that's essentially what you're looking at.
Yeah, okay. Well then cool.
So when you say the rooms aren't what we encountered, like the throne room is still there, but there's no like library offset? Or...
Let me put it this way. So rooms that seem like they have a designated purpose would have certain things in there to indicate it. So for example, the room with the accountant whose name escapes me off the top of my head.
The ghost dude?
Leaf or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That room would have like tall bookshelves built into the walls and like maybe like a fake like a little model desk in it to like show like this is meant to be a study or something. And like the throne room would have a small throne, for example. Or like the study might have some bookshelves. But then like, for example, the room where you met with Strahd up overlooking the tower, the little like fireplace room, that would have a fireplace but no furniture. Like, because that room doesn't really have a designated purpose other than its design. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
So they all look like we've encountered them?
Architecturally, it's all the same. It's just the fact that certain rooms don't have identifying features to determine their purpose, and their purpose has been determined now that it's settled. If that makes sense.
All right.
Like rooms designed with a purpose in mind have that displayed.
I'll make sure while Casimir's like pulling away, I'll point out the invisible thing that we were definitely aware of. Oh, right here. They included the invisible footsteps. How nice.
The invisible footsteps.
Yeah. There was a drop down below. Okay, so we went up, and then we walked around, and there was like a bunch of cats.
Yes.
And then there was like a potion room.
Yes. Oh, there's a trap door.
Yes.
Yes. The one that you dropped into the closet.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that wasn't exactly invisible, but it was a trap door.
Well, because the other door had closed on its own or whatever. And like open or closed on its own.
Yes.
Something like that.
Yes. That is correct as well. So I'm trying to find the actual chapter of there it is. It's only for chapter 4. Jesus. So like here's a good example without spoiling too much. So you see how in this map, let me see if I can display it there. Sorry, Ridge. You see how in this map there's like a throne in the throne room and like a table and bookshelves in the room next to it?
Yeah, that map is basically what I sent you, just minus like the throne and stuff like that.
Yes, so that is kind of what the diorama looks like, of like certain rooms are just empty or blank, and certain rooms have furniture kind of dictating what room it, like the purpose of that room.
Okay. Because I think Alastair's intent would be essentially to get the info of what I just sent you and then maybe label the rooms.
Yes.
To like cut down on time.
Checking real quick. Oh, that's brutal. Top down is this is well made. It's just top down is very difficult to like piece together because the castle's so complex. But yes, I will look at that. I might be able to find one that's closer to like an isometric version that might help.
Yeah, I literally looked down, top down, no info, Castle Ravenloft.
Yeah.
And that's what came up.
I'll see what I can find.
To me. You sent this to the right person. This used to be my job.
So you guys continue copying now. Is there anything else that you guys want to discuss, or should we jump?
I think we'll keep working until something arises that needs our attention, honestly.
Andar and Adumbi, what are the two of you doing?
Oh, I'm just hanging out in the middle of that floor, just sitting down, waiting for people to be done with stuff. I was not a fan of that last interaction.
The last interaction being...
And being all the upset ghosts.
Ah, yes. The encounter specifically. And then Adumbi. So you just nicked a bunch of stuff from the treasury.
Yeah. And then I went back up the staircase, so I would end back up in... Man, it's kind of annoying to go around it, but the room above.
All right, so then just for time's purposes, we'll say that you walk in around the same time that they do.
Okay.
And you see them enter from that wall that previously was closed. And they'll be like, he's gonna like take us on a tour around the temple. I talked to him. He says he's gonna do us a favor.
Oh. I mean, that'd be great. We can explore any of the rooms that we haven't gone to yet.
I have to remember his voice. Yes, so where is it that you'd like to go? Exactly. What exactly did you have in mind? Well, before we go, I have a few questions. So, have you ever, dealt with hag curses before?
Ooh, well, hag curses are. Ooh, I just went Scooby-Doo.
Scooby-Dooby-Doo.
Switching between Mim and him is tough.
Hag curses are very particular magic. They don't really follow the rules of standard arcane. That being said, I know a thing or two about hag curses. What exactly is it that have you been dealing with hag curses yourself?
He kind of looks at the three of you. Okay, I mean, Irina kind of turns. Well, we had a bit of an encounter with some hags outside of Valaki. They took up residence in an old windmill. My windmill? And, they... Unfortunately, we were put in a position where we had to make some deals.
Oh, well, that is unfortunate. But what exactly deals have you made with the hags?
I mean, it's important that you know.
Well, as I said, hag magic is particular. It doesn't follow the rules of natural arcane sources. The more I know, the more I might be able to help. But of course, I don't mean to pry. If anything is personal by any means, I don't want to impose.
Maybe it would be best if the rest of the group were here to tell you about the types of curses that have been inflicted upon them.
Oh, you have friends here. The rest of the group. Who are they?
I believe you've met before, yes?
Have I? Oh,
Yes.
I can be so forgetful. I'm so sorry. Where are we going?
That's a good question. Around. We're not quite sure yet if there's a specific room that we need to see. But,
Oh, well, if you're here to seek knowledge, I'd be happy to show you around. What room would you like to see? I'd be happy to guide you.
well, like I said, it'd be best if we grabbed the rest of our group first before we went exploring. I wouldn't want to leave anyone behind.
Well, do you know where they are? Because I do not. And Mim kind of rolls her eyes and kind of like floats down this way. It's okay. Come on this way. Oh, yeah, yes, of course. This way. How could I have forgotten? And he kind of floats on after her. And they'll head down the stairs. Adunbi, are you following or are you staying up there?
He said, 1 sec, some alarms going off outside.
Oh. Here's hoping all is well. Well, in the meantime, Andar, or Adunbi.
Yes.
Are you heading down with them?
Yes, I'd be following after, yeah.
Cool. So, Andar, the 4 of them come out from behind the statue. Andar! What are you doing down here?
Waiting.
And, what is it particularly that you're waiting for?
To leave, mostly.
Oh, well, if you'd like me to show you the exit, I'd be happy to show you the exit. And he starts,
Oh, no, I know where the exit is.
Oh, well, apologies. So, where were we?
I believe you were trying to find the rest of the group.
Are there more?
Yes, you've met them before. They're somewhere in the West Wing.
Oh, the West Wing. Upstairs or downstairs?
Upstairs, where we've come from, yes, I believe.
Oh, that's right this way. Allow me.
He kind of floats off. For brevity's sake, are you guys just reuniting before you say anything else?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So, we will poof everybody together.
Was the plan?
And boop. So he kind of leads you upstairs, into that hallway.
Well, this is the West Wing. Are they in one of the rooms, perhaps?
I believe so. So, give me 1 second, let me check. That's odd. I could have sworn they were here.
Oh. Well, have we checked this door here?
And he kind of floats over and opens the door.
Intruders!
And he pulls up his hands.
No. That's the people we've been looking for, actually.
Oh. Apologies.
What's going on?
Hello. It's wonderful to meet you. I believe are these your friends?
Yes, they are.
Well, we've been looking for you. I don't remember what for.
You must be on a quest for knowledge.
Are you on a quest for knowledge?
Hey, that's what you must be on if you're the one searching, right?
Oh, well, I guess perhaps. It is a way of putting it in a way.
Well, did you find it?
Well, it depends. What is your name?
Did I give him my name? I think I did. I'm Sten.
Sten. Then I guess I have acquired some knowledge on my journey.
I think you called yourself someone else's name like the whole time.
No, I think
can't remember.
Mim called herself Andar.
I transformed into Andar in that room.
Gotcha.
Well,
I see you found the model of the castle.
yes, who is this Artemis fellow?
Oh, Artemis was a lovely fellow. He was one of the former wizards here. He was a good friend of mine. Unfortunately, I never got to say goodbye to him, but very passionate man. An architect, designed the castle himself. Every last bit and piece of this cornerstone and of this structure he designed for Strahd's at Strahd's behest.
He wouldn't have designed a secret back door or something, right?
A secret back door? Well, there's many secrets within the castle, I know. There's a number of trapdoors, a number of hidden levers, and there's There's the teleportation circle, of course, but I don't believe that there's any back doors, no.
I just want to rewind to something you just said. And I guess I'll just, because we're probably a decent amount through our papers of copying down. Where would that teleportation circle be?
Well, I know there were a few locations discussed. Let me see if I can remember.
And he kind of thinks for a moment.
Well, let's take a look-see. So I know that there was a discussion of putting it in the throne room, but that seemed impractical. So that didn't fly very well. And then there was some discussions about putting it upstairs. He seemed to be leaning that direction. But then, of course, there's the basement, and the basement had plenty of room, so it might be down there as well. I don't quite remember what they settled on. I do remember that it was a very powerful enchantment. He needed some assistance in putting it together.
Where did it... Wait, hold on. What do I know about teleportation magic? Is it just from the journal of son of Vargas? Victor?
Roll me an Arcana check.
Yeah, I can do that. What do I have? Big numbers. Check this out. That's really cocked. Natural 20.
Natural 20, let's go.
Wait, what have you done with
yeah.
Stem?
What have you done? It's this place. It's got dark magic.
All right, so let's see. So generally speaking, with your knowledge of teleportation circles, teleportation circles link your location to a permanent teleportation circle of your choice whose sigil sequence you know and is on the same plane of existence as you. So generally speaking, you can teleport from somewhere to a teleportation circle.
Okay.
And it's basically like a return point.
You know, I've been reading about these in the past couple of weeks. Where does it lead to?
Oh, no. This is, this was sort of a... Generally speaking, you draw a circle and it leads to your permanent circle. So normally you would go to the castle by drawing a circle.
Oh, it's the point back.
But normally, now this is where it gets interesting. As a knowledge seeker yourself, I'm sure you can appreciate. You see, Strahd wanted a special teleportation circle. He didn't want to travel back to his castle. He wanted to be able to go from his castle to different places. So we fashioned a very unique enchantment for him. There's a brazier with the circle, and there's an incantation, and you throw a stone in the fire, and we gave him a number of stones. You see, various different colors to be able to separate, and each stone leads to a separate place in Barovia so that he can quickly travel around and view his domain.
Diagon Alley.
Gesundheit.
That's the wrong place.
If I remember correctly, there were... I think we provided him with 7 different stones. Or was it 9?
Stones. The 9 stones.
I mean,
They meet somewhere in the middle at 8 stones.
I mean, it could have been 6 as well. I'm not quite sure.
They're more than a handful of stones. Okay, so there's definitely not a brazier modeled into any of these. I would assume.
No.
That is so indicative of importance that it would be a teleportation thing. Okay.
so
Where's
do you
the
think
other
it might be on the top of the spire above the glowing thing that we saw.
It was very ornate. But it felt more like a rock, not a fire. Like a gem.
I'm sorry. I don't know what to call him.
Did we hear Mim calling him Mr. E? When we were, because we had asked a couple questions over the acorn and listening.
I think so. Yes, I think she did refer
Okay.
to him as She was like, me and Mr. E.
I think his name is Mystery.
Mystery. Can you do you know anything of a gem in about here? I'll point to the spire.
He kind of like arches his hands and then looks around the room, waiting for someone to respond.
Oh, that's. I thought that was you. That's you.
Me?
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. What was the question?
There's a gem in that spire. Do you know anything about it?
What side? What describe this gem to me? What gem are we referring to? There are a number of
Massive.
gems in the castle.
If I remember, it was like 15 something feet tall.
Oh, that gem.
Very
Yes,
large.
very particular
Yes.
gem. Very powerful gem. Magical gem. Let's see. What was the name of that?
And he just kind of hold 1 second, and he like flows out of the room at speed.
What just happened?
I'll keep copying this down, as I've got my accoutrement of of scribery. Why don't you follow?
Yeah, okay.
He flits back through the upstairs, and like he's going pretty fast. What's his? So you have to almost like sprint to keep up with him.
Yeah, and I will, and I'll get to this room.
Oh, you succeeded on the check,
Can I
right?
avert? I did the first time, yeah?
Yeah, then you're good.
Okay, cool. I'll still avert my gaze. Just in case.
That's fair. You see him fly. So he flies all the way up into the library.
Is this still open?
He just opened it, and it's starting to
Okay.
close, but you sprinting after him can keep up
Shit.
with it, and it shuts behind you. But he flies up to one of these bookshelves. Okay, let's see. Giant gem. Yes, of course. What was that called? Okay, so castle. And he opens one of the books, and you see like words appear in the book. And he starts
Oh.
flipping through it. Yes,
How
of course.
How did you do that?
A code word, of course. I've known it for years. Let's see. Castle, the gem, large gem, very powerful. Let's see. What was it called? And then he's just like flipping through. Also, just as I'm looking for this, I read something somewhere that I think is a brilliant thing if we were in person, but somebody said that their DM had a little slip that they put on the DM board that said like they were loading screen tips of like if he needed to look something up, or if like somebody asked a question that they need to like change an encounter or whatever, he'd put up a little like loading screen like cover provides +2 AC, like things like that.
That's hilarious.
It's like, please hold, loading. I wish I might
love
do something like that. I think that's brilliant. But let's see. I need. Is it all the way back at 20? Here we are. Okay.
Oh, yes, here it is. The Heart of Sorrow.
The name.
So, let's see here, the details. So the Heart of Sorrow is a sentient gem that is inextricably linked to Strahd. It is something of his own design, with our help, of course. It's a giant red crystal heart that floats towards the top of the tower. It seems to be set in, but it's actually floating, believe it or not. And it essentially holds a certain vitality that Strahd can draw from should he be injured.
Oh,
More or less, it serves as it holds healing properties, but only to Strahd himself, of course. It's linked directly to him, and it allows him to pull upon its power and restore himself should he ever run into trouble.
interesting. Is there anything listed as if something were the matter with it, how to get it down?
Well, I'm not sure. Get it down. Would you say get it down, like remove it?
Yeah, if it needed repairs or anything like that.
Well, no. So he's able to draw from it from distance. It's linked to him in a sort of arcane, an arcane tether, so to speak. And so he is able to draw from it from wherever he is, as long as he's in Barovia. And doing so dims the gem, but it does restore itself, of course, at every dawn. Removing it, that might be a difficult thing to do. Now, destroying it, that's something that you could do, but of course, it's not exactly easy, but I think it actually might be simpler than removing it. Well, it depends. Are you trying to remove it while it's intact?
No, I don't think that's important.
Oh, well, then yes, you could just destroy it, of course. I mean, I'm sure it would anger Strahd.
I mean, it was your idea, not mine.
I'm sorry?
What were we talking about?
What were we talking about? You...
I'm gonna
You
pull
asked-
a book off the bookcase.
Okay.
Ugh, I seem to have forgotten the code word. What was that again?
Oh yes, of course. Here, hand it to me. And he picks it up, and it just poof, like appears. It like words appear in his hand.
That... Is there a certain incantation?
Incantation.
Yes, to make the words appear.
Oh. Well, let's see. Incantation. Maybe there's a word. Let me look. He scrolls through the book that he's reading. This is the wrong one, and puts it back. What am I thinking? And
Pick
goes,
up a random book.
goes across the room. All right. So yes, of course. Let's see. He pulls another book off, scrolls through. Let's see. The books. In order to see the books, I can see the books, but I can't you see the books? So let's see. While I'm looking, is there anything that anyone else wants to be doing? Going once? Going twice? He's looking through and he's like, I can't seem to find the code word. But you can't see these when I hand them to you, and he hands it back to you. And it
I take it. No.
How odd. And he takes it back and it appears. Oh, look! It works! Did we solve it?
Are you the key to these books?
Oh no, there was a code word somewhere. I guess, of course, you could technically go a roundabout way, and if you were to have a true seeing spell, I think that it would see straight through these incantations, but
Do you happen to have a true seeing spell?
let's see if he knows true seeing. Does he know true seeing? Well, I know true seeing, but I don't believe I have it prepared for today. I'd have to check my spell book. Let me go check. And he goes back into the room and flies over to his stand. Wait a minute. This is a prayer book of the morning, Lord. This isn't my spell book. Where's it gone? Oh shit, I'm so forgetful. He starts flying around the room looking for it. You haven't happened to see my spell book, have you? I seem to be...
I'm going to swap them out again real quick.
All right. Roll me sleight of hand.
Okay. 17.
Oop. Wait, what the hell? Whoa, what the fuck? Hold on. He got screwed up somehow. All of
He
his
can't
stats
perceive
are,
anything. He doesn't have eyes.
all of his stats are jacked. Hold on, let me see if I can just pop him back in. Oop.
Oh God. Stan, there's two.
Hold on, let me make sure his name is. All right, and then here we go. Oh wow! All right,
Is this the book you're looking for?
It is. Oh, thank heavens. I'm not sure how you found it, but yes, please.
and you hand it back to him, and he starts scrolling through it.
Well, yes, I do believe I have a spell of true seeing in here. Yes.
Is that something you think you could put on a scroll for a friend of mine?
I do believe that is something I can do. Let me see. I must have some magical spell scroll about. I must have some magical scroll paper around here somewhere.
So generally creating a scroll.
I don't actually know how that works, so I don't know if that's
I'm
a
pulling
reasonable
it up.
request or not.
Do. So requires. So hold on, I have to look up a bunch of stuff about. So true seeing is considered to be a 6th level spell, so it'd be a very rare spell scroll, which means that you would need 25,000 gold and wait, what?
Well, lucky for us, he happens to have that.
Page 129 of the Dungeon Masters. Let's see.
This is so inconsequential, but if I can get Andar a new toy, I'm going to goddamn do it.
All right, so it says crafting a magic item. Specifying the casting item table. So 25,000 gold. So, hold on. Oh, God. So it says a character engaged in the crafting of a magic item makes progress in 25 gold increments, spending that amount for each day of work until the total cost is paid. The character is assumed to work for 8 hours each of those days, thus creating an uncommon magic item takes 20 days and 500 gold, which would mean that it would take 1,000 days.
So
Which
hear me out.
seems-
He's an arch-lich.
Which seems ridiculous. So creating spell scrolls time.
Oh, look, you have one prepared right here on this desk. Thank you.
Oh, they revised it in Xanathar's. Okay.
I hear they have everything in that.
Wow.
Ew.
I had to.
That
That's
was
a laugh.
Let's see. Time cost. Riveting gameplay. Spell level ×2 plus 1 day. Okay, this seems to be a lot better balanced. So this one would make it 13 days and 2,400 gold, which I like a lot better. So we'll stick with that. Here, I will take this table and I will copy it and see if it copies nicely. And we'll use this as our... It kind of copied nicely. Let me move these things to make it more nice. Alright. So, level, time cost, gold cost, save DC, and the bonus that gives you to attack on a spell scroll. So he'll be like, yeah, well, I could, of course. It would take a number of days, but it's something I could do if that's something you're interested in. It would just I need to find my magic scroll paper, which where is that exactly, and where did I leave it?
Would you have a courier that you could send that to us with?
A courier? Well, no, I don't have a number of communication. I could always I'm sure there's a way that I could zap it to you, depending on if I had some way to connect the two of us.
Are you familiar with the Blue Water Inn?
Yeah, the Blue Water Inn has been a long-standing establishment. The Martikov family, I believe, correct?
Yeah, you could just Erwin Martikov was his name, right? You could always just zap it to Erwin Martikov, and we could tell him to be expecting it.
Who is Erwin?
The youngest son? Question mark? Maybe that he knows? The owner of the Blue Water Inn.
Oh. Wow, it clearly has been a while since I've been out to the inn.
Maybe you could just zap it straight into their kitchen.
I imagine that's possible. Is it still the back room on the right? Did they move it?
Yes.
Oh, well, lovely. Then that should be something I'm capable of doing. Now, what is it that I'm zapping again?
Scroll of True Seeing.
Right, of course. Spell of True Seeing. And I'm to send it to the Blue Water Inn into the kitchen.
And maybe you could write on it that it's for Endar.
And who is Endar?
I'm going to write all of this down on just a piece of paper that's on this desk.
Okay.
And here, the exact instructions.
Oh, wonderful. Is this a gift for someone?
Yes. It was a gift for a lovely wizard that you met.
Oh, well, of course. I'll be sure to follow the instructions appropriately.
Thank you.
Is there some sort of Oh no, it's a gift. Never mind. We discussed this. What are we doing?
I believe we were probably returning to our friends now.
Oh, friends! Yes! Who might they be?
They're in the West Wing, the center door.
Oh, the West Wing! I'd be happy to show you to the West Wing, of course. Follow me, yes.
Did he keep that paper or did he set it down?
He's got it in his hand.
Good, cool.
He flies back to the West Wing.
That's a wall
Oh,
there,
my
sir.
intruders! He like
Nope,
raises.
friends!
Oh, friends. Oh, hello. Your compatriot here. He seems to have said that we're coming to meet you. It's lovely to meet you all.
Oh, hello.
Hello, and who might you be?
My name is Sten. What's yours?
Sten. Lovely to meet you. My name is.
We'll call you Mr. E.
Mystery.
Oh, yes. The salutations, mister. And then the first letter of your name.
The first letter of my name.
No, it's Sorry.
Mhm. Are you sick?
No,
Oh,
although it's very cold here.
it is quite cold. I do agree. Now, what were we doing?
Mim, did you get through your questions by chance?
So I kind of asked about hags, and he said that hags are weird, and that maybe if we gave him some more details on some of the deals that we made, then that maybe he might be able to help. But I don't really know.
You asked about hags? I'm sorry?
Well, yeah, I asked if he was familiar with hag curses because he seems to know a lot about magic and stuff, you know.
Mystery, are you familiar with hag curses?
He kind of looks around the room.
Oh, that's you.
Oh, me!
Mystery. Yes.
I'm mystery. Oh, sorry.
Oh,
Hag
God.
curses.
Yes.
Yes, hags are very particular creatures, very dark magic. It doesn't behave normally like other magic does. They kind of break normal rules. But it always involves some sort of bargain of some kind of or curse, nasty stuff. So what's your question exactly?
Well, you see, we've made some bargains and
Oh.
a blue light. I no longer cast a shadow.
Oh, it would appear you do not. Well, what exactly was the deal that you made?
Can I tell him the deal I made? It's been a while.
You literally gave up your shadow.
But I tell him the other two as well.
So the ones that are existing are you gave up your shadow, Mim allowed Morgantha to see through her eyes, see things through her eyes, and Andar gave away his luck. Are the three that still exist.
So all of those things, and I still feel very unlucky. We're not quite sure about the eye thing, and I still have no shadow.
Interesting. So, you're missing your shadow, and which one of you is Mim? Mim kind of goes, me. So, you allowed the hag to see through your eyes? Well, yeah, but, then, Alastair kind of took it. She kind of looks over at Alastair, and he kind of, like, follows the gaze. You took it?
Yes, there was a new deal made to kind of, consolidate the problem.
So all of these things are in you now. You're the subject.
That's my understanding of it.
Interesting. So let's see. So let's start at the top. So shadow. Clearly you don't have one. But
if you were to bargain away your shadow, well, that is an interesting thing. You see, shadows are bound to their owners. They are reflections of the physical form cast by light and darkness and all this jazz. And also, to speak, the closer that you get to light, the more defined and the larger your shadow becomes. So without your shadow, first off, I'm sure darkness has been... Have you noticed any strangeness in your interactions with the light or the dark, or any strange feelings, any odd behaviors, interactions, maybe?
Let's say I always feel strange about my interactions with light.
With light? Interesting. Because generally speaking, our physical forms and our corporeal forms exist on the material plane. The material plane is generally considered to be one of one of physical nature, and light interacts in I'm sure you're familiar with physics and the way that light behaves and travels and things like that. But shadows, you see, shadows are a reflection of our physical beings on the material plane, and technically, as far as the arcane goes, they exist on the material plane, but they sort of inhabit a different plane entirely. They are a physical where we have a physical manifestation on the material plane. The shadow serves almost as a an echo of our physical form, if you will. And so to have it separated from you, first off, I imagine has some negative effects in the sort of symbiotic relationship between your body and your shadow. But also, that means that your shadow still exists somewhere. Perhaps with this hag, maybe she's keeping it for safekeeping. But your shadow still exists and is a sort of mirror of yourself in a way. It would not only provide information about your current state physically and of what not only perhaps what you're doing or your state of health, any sort of physical abnormalities or malfunctions you may have, but also as you develop as a person and grow in your capabilities, similarly your shadow would mimic such progress.
So, if the hag were to perish, what would you think would become of the shadow?
Well, I do know that hag deals tend to continue past the death of the hag, unfortunately. A specific nature of hag curses, they cannot be removed simply by extinguishing the caster. But considering we're talking about a manifestation here, a physical thing that had to be kept or watched over or contained in the form of shadow, if the hag were to be killed, either the shadow would be let loose, in which case it would either wander looking for some sort of information or guidance, or perhaps seek its master in order to reestablish that bond, or it would be recaptured by some other party if it was intercepted along the way, or perhaps taken from the hag itself. Do you know that the hag was in possession of the shadow when she died?
Yes. Yeah, I presumed that she was.
But how recent was this death that occurred?
How recent was this death that occurred?
Probably 10 days. Estimation.
About a week and change, maybe.
And you have not encountered your shadow anywhere?
Not yet.
Well, then that is puzzling. Yes, I presume that either it's lost somewhere seeking you, or somebody else has managed to capture it and contain it in some way.
And what would you think of the luck and seeing through the eyes?
Well, the seeing through the eyes seems to be some sort of pun. I have to imagine that it allowed vision of your physical inhabitation of your sightline. The hags tend to enjoy wordplay, and so I would imagine that it was something along the lines of her being able to blink, and when she opens her eyes, being able to see through the eyes of your diminutive friend here. But if it was transferred to you, then that would occur to you instead. Luckily, such a an arrangement is fairly specific. It would only be visual, not auditory. So they would not be able to hear what you're doing, just see where you are or what you're looking at. And would have to piece together the information from there. But normally you'd feel some sort of intrusion, some sort of perhaps clammy feeling or chill down your spine, depending on the type of hag, of course, the nature of the agreement. Have you felt any sort of intrusions or maybe some soreness in the eyes?
Have I felt any kind of intrusions or some soreness in the eyes?
Not to your knowledge, no.
I don't believe so. Do you think that that's something that could have ended when she did?
Well, it's possible, considering that is more of a direct agreement of I to see, I being the royal I, whoever this hag was, being able to take on the ability to see through another's eyes. That does sound like one that perhaps might end when the hag perished, if this hag truly is indeed dead. Because that's not exactly a transferable element.
My one worry is if somebody were to take her eyes, would they hold some kind of arcane property?
Perhaps.
Property? Said that really weird, sorry.
But in order to, even if they were to take her eyes, they'd have to somehow figure out a way to use them physically, be able to see through the eye of this other physical thing, which I guess is not beyond the laws of magic, but it would be quite difficult, or it would require some gruesome surgery of some kind, I imagine, installing it physically in order to utilize it. Which also would require preservation, of course, because you don't want the eye to rot before you install it. Very, very, very odd interaction, but it's possible, but I would imagine unlikely.
Okay, well, that's one thing done. And the unluckiness.
What unluckiness?
Bargained away my luck.
You gave away your luck. Was this a fair agreement?
To the hag.
Oh, a hag. Oh, yes, of course. Sorry. Hag agreement, luck. You bargained away your luck.
Yes.
Are you a particularly lucky person?
No.
Was this before or after you bargained it away?
After.
Okay, so you were particularly lucky before you bargained it away.
Yeah.
Well, if you were particularly lucky, then I imagine that if you bargained away your luck, any time that you were to interact with, well, not interact with, but any time you were to take advantage of your sort of lucky disposition, by doing so, you would trigger your agreement, in which case it would essentially negate the ability for you to take advantage of your luckiness, and any luck that you were to take advantage of would instead benefit the hag, and you would be replaced with a distinctly unlucky effect, as you had given away your ability to be lucky. Does that make sense? And also, hypothetically speaking, if you were to gamble, right? If you were to gamble, and normally, because you're lucky, you were to have a winning hand or a winning roll or something. The agreement and the nature of the magic would instead make something good happen for the hag and who you gave your luck to. And simultaneously, well, this luck was transferred to her. Instead, your luck would be replaced by something unfortunate. So perhaps your winning hand, you'd suddenly find that there's a card in your sleeve that you didn't place there, and it falls out on the table, and everyone thinks you're cheating. It would be an example.
And if she had perished and no longer can benefit from the luck.
That is an interesting thing, because you gambled away your luck, but it isn't something that gave her necessarily ability as much as took an ability away from you. So, essentially, your luck is going somewhere, but it's not. It's not going. There seems to be some sort of odd exchange, because you don't necessarily have to be alive or sentient for things to luckily happen to you. A tree can fall on on a wagon, for example, or it can fall next to the wagon, and the wagon can still be lucky, even though it's not alive. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So, as gruesome as it sounds, perhaps there's a dead body somewhere where you're causing many lucky things to occur to. You seem downtrodden. Is something wrong?
Just still affected, even though she's passed. I don't exactly know how to fix it.
Is this the hag that we were discussing?
Yes. How does one remove a hag's curse?
Well, in my studies, I found two ways. Generally, either the hag themselves have to remove it, or there is a strange transactional nature to hag magic and the arcane. In order for a hag to make an agreement in the first place, either there has to be a willing participant in some sort of exchange of power, or in the terms of a curse, it involves some sort of slighting, something that somebody did wrong that they are meant to pay back for. You didn't happen to wrong the hag in any way, did you?
Just wanted to leave her house.
Well, why were you in her house?
Well, technically it was Mim's house, but that's neither here nor there.
So wait, you were in her house? But the hag's house? I'm confused.
Are you familiar with the old bone grinder?
The old bone grinder? As in that dance? And he kind of swivels his hips.
A windmill, just outside of the
Oh, the
gates
old
to
Durst
the-
windmill.
Yes, that one.
Oh, I'm familiar with that windmill. Why is it called old bone grinder now?
Well, who knows?
Well, yes, I'm familiar with the old Durst windmill.
There were some hags there when it was still standing.
Oh, well, what happened to the Durst? They used to vacation there.
Hey, does anybody know what happened to the Durst?
To Darst?
All of you except Doonby and Irina would remember the Dursts are the family from Death House.
Which is how do you tell someone that? How do you tell someone that you've
Yep.
just met that the people they're inquiring about fell to an evil cult where they needed to sacrifice themselves to their baby?
Yup.
Ew.
Oh, well, regardless, the Dursts were an old family, very, very long-standing. What were we talking about? The bone grinder, the windmill?
There were some hags there. They cursed me, and now they're dead, and I still have curses.
Oh, yes, of course. So, House, you said you were in... But you said it was the Hag's windmill, and you also said it was Wim's windmill, but I know it to be the Durst windmill. So how can it be all... I seem to be missing some information here.
The Durst passed it on
To the Hag or to Mim?
to Mim, and the hags were squatters, and they had squatters' rights.
Oh, so they were squatting. Okay, I understand. So, what specifically? So you made it into the house, and they were squatting in the house. And then you wanted out of the house. Why was she keeping you in the house?
You know, that's a really good question. Some of us did just walk out, but then also started to disappear a few weeks later.
Oh, well, that sounds gruesome. Well, I'll admit, I'm not sure that I have the information. I think I need more details to determine what you could. Because generally speaking, as I said, there are two types of ways to break hag curses. Either you have the hag remove the curse in order as some sort of transaction, although that requires a great deal of negotiating and is very difficult to do. And on the other hand, you have to right whatever wrong occurred. You've slighted the hag in some way, and the hag places a curse upon you, and you have to essentially make good on whatever it is that you did.
Well, let's assume that this body is past the point of revivify.
Well, the body doesn't necessarily have to be alive for you to make good on whatever it was. It's more of an existence of almost a score to settle in a way. There's a as we said, transactional, correct? So in relationships, if you compliment somebody, you've done something good for them. If you insult them or betray them in some way, you've slighted them and essentially withdrawn from the relationship, metaphorically speaking. So if this hag felt that you did something to slight her, take something away from her, or insult her, or in something of some way that you did, and she retaliated by cursing you, by essentially making up for whatever you did, would perhaps remove the curse.
That's a lot.
Well, yes, hags are particular. Kind of looks around the room. And who all might you be?
I'm gonna peek my head out the door. Oh, hello.
Hello.
Oh, no.
My name is Stent. I'm on a knowledge quest. I was wondering if you could help.
Oh, yes, of course. I love knowledge seekers. What exactly do you need help with?
I have a riddle for you. I've been mulling it over and I don't know the answer.
Oh, I love riddles. Yes, brain benders. Do tell.
Okay. Who am I? A sleeping prince, a servant of light, and the brother of darkness.
Well, that would be Sergei von Zarovich, of course.
See, I thought that was the answer. I guess always trust your first instinct, right?
Perhaps. It was. What does this riddle pertain to? Is there a book of them somewhere?
The history of Barovia.
Oh, well, I mean, if you'd be interested in that, I know a great deal. I've been here the whole time.
No, I'm sorry, that was the missing link. Thank you. I'll walk back, continue copying the...
Speaking on the Von Holtz family, actually, do you
Von
know
Holtz?
who this is? Yes.
But I thought we were speaking of Von Zarovich.
Von Zarovich, sorry. Do you know who this is? And I will turn into Vasily.
The Von Holtz family.
Von Holtz.
Oh, well,
Listening to Duhast.
yes, I recognize that visage.
What do you know of him?
Well, this is the visage of Vasily von Holtz. Strahd tends to masquerade as him around Barovia in his free time, which he has a great deal of over the last few hundred years. I imagine he gets very bored.
Well, what if you saw Strahd and him in the same room, and it wasn't necessarily illusion magic? You could touch and interact with him. Do you think that would be a golem of some sort?
Well, not all illusion magic can be sent. Well, let me back up. You're describing a situation in which Strahd himself, as a physical being, and Vasily von Holtz are in the same room, and you could physically interact with which of them?
With Vasily and Strahd.
And there was physical interaction with both of them.
Was there physical interaction with Strahd?
Did Strahd dance with anybody?
I honestly would have to check.
I didn't even think about that.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Everything in your notes?
I hate
I
that
don't think
more.
so.
6.
I think. Did he dance with Irina?
It was Irina.
Yeah.
It
I think
was
he
Irina.
danced with Irina.
Yeah, I was like, okay, I'm trying to count how many people we had, and then he had
Irina.
Strahd, wife, and yeah, there was one person for every person.
And Helga.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think Strahd danced with Irina. So Irina would be like, well, yes, I'm not sure if I prefer the term physically interacted with, but yes.
Doomby got some of that.
Okay, so generally speaking, yeah, there are types of illusion magic that we can dispel by physical interaction, but there are certain types of illusion magic that you can actually physically interact with them, and as long as the physical discrepancies aren't drastic, you can interact without breaking the illusion. Granted, if you were to gain or massive amounts of size or weight or anything along those lines, that would potentially dispel the illusion. But as long as the physical stature of the figure was generally about the same size, it would be much more difficult to sense the difference through the illusion.
And what if Vasily, while Strahd was at Castle Ravenloft, went and completed a task?
Completed what sort of task?
Went and picked something up.
In the castle?
No, far away. Name of the city. Shit.
Valaki.
Valaki.
Oh, that is quite a distance. Well, I would suspect a seeming spell. Seeming? Anyone?
Yeah. Familiar.
Seeming we don't know. Sorry.
Oh, well, so seeming is an advanced form of illusion magic. Essentially, seeming allows you to change the appearance of any number of creatures within a certain distance of you. But once you have changed them, they have to start within a certain range, of course. You can't just poof an illusion far away. But let's say, hypothetically, that we were all standing here in a 30-foot circle, and I cast seeming. I could turn any number of you into anything that I wanted physically, and as long as it was within a certain realm of reasonability, you would appear that way. But if I were to, for example, change... what was your name? The white hair, you here. What's your name?
Alastair.
Alastair. So let's say I made Alastair into a different man, but so at the same proportions. I changed his face and I turned his hair yellow, for example's sake. As long as the physical parts of his body were still in line with the physical parts of my illusion, you could physically interact with him in any way without detecting the illusion. If I were to, for example, give him a big billowy robe, you'd go right through the robe. But if I were to make him have a similar style shirt but change the color, you'd be able to feel the shirt, and it would still be the shirt, so to speak. But you disguise physical appearance, including clothing, weapons, anything they have on them. And you can make minor adjustments, height within a foot, thin, fat, things like that. We can't change body type. You can't change arrangement of limbs or add limbs or anything like that. And once you've cast it, it lasts up to 8 hours, and the subject can leave and go wherever they want. Essentially, it allows. Granted, like I said, if there's any major discrepancies, then you interact with it and it will fail. But any physical mirroring would still hold up.
So you would... Would Alastair know the name of spells and how they work? Can we assume that characters know spells?
So we've said that they know basics. This is a more advanced spell, and so you'd have to roll Arcana to... But he did basically just describe to you how it works.
Because I'm not talking about that spell.
I don't know, I feel like you're pretty good at rolling Arcana.
Yeah, I'll roll Arcana. I'm rolling Arcana for a 7th level spell, though, to see if I know of it.
Okay.
19. 18 plus 1.
What did I say? What did I say?
I'd say you've heard of it, yeah.
Yeah.
So you would
see?
You would think seeming over simulacrum.
Simulacrum's kind of hard to cast.
It's also Strahd, and we know that he was in works with fucking what's his face. We killed him.
I have a new idea. The abbot.
Yeah, the abbot, who makes flesh golems.
I have a new idea.
What's the idea?
He kind of thinks to him, simulacrum. Well, simulacrum could potentially, essentially, achieve the same effect, but it would require a 12-hour cast time. You would have to physically cast it for 12 hours. But you said you saw them in the same room.
Yes.
Let's see. Blah, blah, blah. Do-do-do. It is possible.
You know, there was another suitor that we didn't see in there.
Another suitor?
What do you mean?
You read the journal, right? I just don't know how much I want to talk about He'll forget it, right? It's just his timer is just so unpredictable.
He's say, what were we talking about?
Are you sure? Are you sure he's really forgotten anything?
Yeah, right. I don't know about this. Look at those eyes. They don't tell the truth.
Actually, you know, have we even tried to like use insight to see if he's like actually forgetful?
I don't want to. I think that's a one-way ticket to the Nine Hells.
Nine Hells.
We read that Strahd had a fourth suitor around. Asher? Maybe that seeming spell would work on him.
Is this Esker a friend of yours?
Unless we have, I really don't think we've met face to face. Under the pretense of that name.
What are we talking about?
I'm just gonna ignore him and just look at the party.
What are you getting?
Mr. E, I do have a question for you.
Oh, right, that's me. Yes, what, me? Mr. E?
Yes.
Yes.
We've been traveling for quite some time, and going about all sorts of adventures. Do you think you would have anything around that would help us and aid us on our journeys?
Well, there's the treasure room, but it seems you've already been in there.
Yes, but
Draped in treasure.
I mean, can you see everything that I have? Because like I have like a backpack, right?
You have a backpack, but you grabbed a staff and a sword.
Yeah, but he's forgetful. He doesn't know. He doesn't know anything.
He knows enough to recognize where those things are from. Those things are.
Okay.
He's got short-term memory issues.
I'm piecing it together, huh? Seems to recall certain things. Not consistent with his memory.
He's the kind of guy who counts his fries before he leaves the table.
Do you think?
But I mean, what exactly are you looking for?
Well, our friend here, Alastair, he's very adept at getting stabbed.
Oh,
do you think?
well, that's
yes.
What?
a morose skill to have.
Yes. Do you think you have anything to help him get less stabbed?
Well, have you tried enchantments? Agatha's armor, or a mage armor, or bark skin, or stone skin? All things that could make him less stabbable.
Alastair, have you tried any of these things, Alastair?
Honestly, I was more worried about Sten when I was looking for stuff like that.
Who's Sten?
The one looking
hello.
puzzled in the corner.
Oh, hello.
We've yet to introduce you, actually. But
Hi, my name is Sten.
Oh, you're Sten. Hello. Well, lovely to meet you.
Oh, I see. You've heard of me.
Yes, they were just telling me about you. You seem like a lovely fellow.
Thank you. You as well.
He's here on a knowledge quest, actually.
A knowledge
Here on a
quest.
knowledge quest.
yes.
But I do love helping fellow seekers of knowledge.
And it's come full circle.
But yeah, he
Or should I say full spiral?
tend to get the brute force of attacks, and we were looking for something to protect him a little bit more.
Well, outside of spells.
There's currently dried blood in my fur. Double check my HP.
Above table, what else are we looking for down here?
We don't entirely know. We know that this guy is an
We haven't-
encyclopedia of anything we would want to know.
This guy in particular.
Yeah, he's the only NPC that we've ever met that has all of the information we would need.
This guy's been around since before Strahd became Strahd. This guy's been around since Strahd was still human.
And they were buddies.
And they were
And
buddies.
they were roommates.
They were roommates.
A few more things to throw at him, but
We've asked him a lot of things.
Mim has one question that
We've asked him a lot of things, and sorry if this has already been asked. This is such an obvious question, but did we ask him at all, like, how to defeat Strahd?
Kind of. Because we don't know we need to really do that. It was more how do we lift the curse?
the hard thing is the characters
Yeah.
have no quarrel with Strahd at this point.
Yeah, we do.
Adunbi does.
For what?
Adunbi has since day one. Adunbi
has
hates
quarrel
Strahd.
for everybody, buddy.
Adunbi hates Strahd.
We all had this interaction with Strahd at his castle, and we don't have any beef with him.
Well, like we know he's
Did we
a
have
bad
the same
guy.
interactions with Strahd? I'm confused.
We know he's a bad guy, but it's like a king you hate. Like you wish him dead, but that it's more what his actions are, and so that's what I asked about, because I've been telling all the NPCs I want to make this a sunshiny place. So I asked him how to do that. He goes, "Oh, you can't put the genie back in the bottle," pretty much.
He said the only way to lift the mist is to lift the curse.
So the
And then
curse.
so-
and the only way to lift the curse is to.
I asked him how to break the curse, and he said it needs to break the pattern because he's in this like endless turmoil.
In this turmoil, and so like that was the whole entire thing about how like you have to like whatever the dark powers, you have to like
Well, so
Okay.
they make a deal, and then they make a deal behind your back of like, well, you gave this, but also I get more. Suck it.
like the only way to actually stop what's happening in Barovia is to stop the dark powers, and to stop the dark powers you need to like
Remove their champion.
remove their champion,
something
which
like
is Strahd.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
think I'll jump in with Mim's last question here because I think it's appropriate. At this
Okay.
point. Mr. E, just one quick question. Is it possible to kill a dark power instead of trapping it? Because you have a lot of them here, but what about the ones that get out? Can you kill them? Oh, well, I'll be honest, I don't think it's ever been attempted. They're very, very powerful beings. Very dark entities. As you can see, the whole realm is essentially controlled by them and the curses of their doing. So
vast power at their disposal. It took a number of us, a number of great wizards, in order to work together to figure out a way to entrap them. I don't think we considered it too risky to attempt to remove them entirely. You see, we weren't really sure what effect that might have. Consider this: if you have a vastly powerful dark being capable of doing horrendous things, the source of the power being unknown, removing them from the equation implies certain unintended consequences or unforeseen consequences. It poses a great risk. So by entrapping them, we were able to maintain their existence and hopefully limit their influence and their power without potentially causing any sort of ripple effects or imbalances in sort of fight between light and darkness, maintaining natural order. But
So
should it be attempted, I imagine it would be possible. I just, I don't believe it ever has been.
So, just checking, you are in fact saying that actions have consequences.
Well, of course.
Anyway, would there, by chance, be a dark vestige that would want Vampire out of power?
Oh, well, of course there's politics between all of them. They all vying for things. But typically, they each have control over different realms. With the domains of dread are a whole network. I'd be happy to walk you. It's detailed, but essentially, the dark powers banded together and formed an entire array of dread planes, the demi planes, and dread domains. What's the term? Domains of dread. So the domains of dread are all these various demi-planes created by the dark powers, holding various nefarious individuals and dark lords, so to speak, in their own sort of particular hellscape, where they are forced to either endure endless cycles of torment or what's the word I'm looking for? Endlessly pursuing some goal or accomplishment or satisfaction that they'll never achieve. It's a form of torture, but each of those domains of dread tends to be overseen by a specific dark vestige and their chosen victim or champion, depending on the situation and the agreement made. Barovia is by no means the only one.
So, might there be one that dislikes Vampire more than the others?
Well, I imagine any of them would vie for power. Out of the ones that exist, hold, please. Break out the other book.
It's like, hold on, let me get my book real quick from this.
Alastair, you're not considering...
What's better than a devil you don't know, Sten? A devil you do.
A devil best left alone. Surely.
All right.
Alastair, no.
So as far as the domains of dread that I know of, Strahd was the first. You understand? I haven't been to these places, but I've done a great deal of study. I've in interviewing with the Vestiges, understanding their nature and their powers. So of course, there's Barovia and Strahd being the Dark Lord of Barovia. But also, there's, there's Blutspur, which is, the god brain of Blutspur, is the Dark Lord of Blutspur. Then there's... No, Blutspur.
Gesundheit.
Oh, okay, well, I'll move on. Let's see, and then there's Borka, Borka is the Dark Lords Ivana Baritzi and Ivan Delisnia, which Delisnia is a Barovian name. You might recognize that one. Yes, one of them was able to. The family was separated when the fog set in. And then let's see what else. Borka, of course. There's the carnival, the Dark Carnival. Oh yes, very terrifying. The Dark Lord is Nepenthe. Terrible place. Fire eaters, organ grinders, snakes, things of the like. A very dark carnival. You don't want to mess with that one. There's Darken, of course. There's no Dark Lord in Darken, truly. There's just interactions with the mist, and there's the let's see. The mist divided the region after Barovia was separated from it, of course, and as Azadin Rex is the king, vanished during the Hour of Ascension, and there's the Karguts, which is the Karguts, kind of a secret police. Think of them as enforcers. And then let's see. But unfortunately, in Darken, what really makes it a domain of dread is that if you die in Darken, your corpse rises as a mindless undead that shambles into the night. Very terrifying. So there's that, and then let's see what else. There's also the Doomed Domain, fairly straightforward. There's Dementlu, which is the Dark Lord is Sidra Dinodair, and then there's let's see what else. There's Falkovnia with Vladeska Drakov, and then let's see, there's Harakir with Anctopot as the Dark Lord, and then there's Haslin with Haslik the Dark Lord. There's many of these. I can keep going. If you'd like.
No, you're fine.
Ikath with Sen Chang.
Well, the fuck off, Neo was very funny. Did you say? Oh God, I'm gonna butcher this so bad. Belitsia?
Oh, Delisnia, yes. Let's see.
When the fog formed.
Let me look that up.
Same Disney family, I think.
Let's see. Where was that? Oh yes, in Borka.
And there a dark vestige stored here?
Ivan Delisnia is the one who was separated. Let's see. Delisnia. Oh, that's the Barovian name. Let's see. There's a.
Does Irina perk up to that name at all?
She would. Okay. That's what it is. So the Delisnias hated the Varnzaroviches. Oh, is that it? Hold on. I was like, I know this name's in here. I just had to find where.
The Mardikovs don't descend from them, do they? That would be cool.
No, it's here we go.
Am I understanding right in that this is a dark power stored here? A dark vestige?
What in what?
No, they were like the rulers, right? But their family got split between here and there. They're the level that Strahd's at.
Gotcha.
Where is Blinsky?
So we don't know what dark vestige they're
Representing? I don't think so.
right. I want that info. God damn it. I want to fuck around and find out. God damn it.
I want you to too. Well, Nick wants you to. Nick really wants you to.
Let's complete this yin yang character.
I love how you got a talking to of like, yo, if you handle your shit, maybe your shadow wouldn't be so messed up.
So the bones of Lord Delisnia are held in an iron chest at Wachter House.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did we know the name of that?
I think he did cast Identify on them.
Wait, you're talking about the dead husband?
No, it was bones in
No.
a chest behind the secret door. It was
No,
the
yeah,
first place
we
the
saw
dead husband was just in the bed. She just slept with her dead husband. She's a weird bitch.
So, if I remember correctly, let me double check here. But I'm pretty sure it was on the chest. Let's see.
I thought there was a chest of bones on the walker.
That's correct. Yes, there was a chest of bones in the Wachter House, and you did open it.
Yeah, I just
Yeah,
don't
so the
remember.
bones contain Leo Delisnia, an enemy of the Wachter family.
Ah.
sorry, I remember this, but like not 100%.
Yeah, in the room that we stayed in, the secret door was in the cat room, but there was a crack or a window or something, and Andar used Doctor Who to port in with Misty Step. It was the first use of that.
It was the room below her daughter's room.
But that wasn't the room where the chest was. The room where the chest was the one that Adunbi opened in the closet.
Yeah, I remember in
With
the
the spike.
closet. I remember there was two things in the closet. There was the book, and then there was a chest of bones or something, and we just didn't know what the fuck the chest of bones were.
Correct.
So in one of them, 90 platinum, 110 gold, wooden pipe, 5 scrolls deeding the Wachter's land by Strahd, a manifesto, and then there was a grimoire which drives the reader mad, but it's a copy, and a letter to Lavina Wachter, signed by Vasily. That was one of the chests.
Yes, that was the one in the secret room. And then the other one was in the closet, and it only had two things. And it had the Tome of Strahd
Here's
and the
tome.
bones.
Okay. Damn, I didn't write down the name.
Oh
But
yeah, Bones of Ancient Enemy. Yeah.
so
Cool. Okay. What was his name again?
Leo Delisnia. Let me spell it. It is Dilisnya.
Fascinating. Thank you.
And
And,
Irina is gonna perk up. I remember that name. You said Ivan Delisnia. Yeah, yes, Ivan. Related to Leo. Tatiana, you would remember Leo. Leo was one of your guards. Well, it wasn't one of my guards, but she turns to the rest of you and kind of ignores the lich. Leo Delisnia, I only remember pieces, but he was one of Strahd's guards that when Strahd killed Sergei, Leo was one of the ones who found him. He led the uprising of the guards against Strahd to try and kill him. But obviously, as we all know, the Dark Powers made that more difficult than he anticipated.
So, Mystery, what dark vestige oversees the domain that they're in?
Oversees them.
well, they sort of, overseas might be a strong word. They, control them, more accurately.
Controls then.
Yes, the nature of the land, any sort of strange happenings. For example, the mists are a result of direct dark vestige and dark power interference.
So I guess what I'm asking, or trying to ask him, is which of the Dark Vestiges oversees where that family currently is?
Oh, Barker! Well, let's see. Does it tell us here? Let's see. The domain of desire and deceit, which would mean that it's, let's see. Please hold. Domain of desire and deceit. So I'll admit, I don't quite know for sure. As I said, I've never visited these places. I just know of them through stories. I will say, I also don't quite know if all of the vestiges that we have here are the entirety of the house. I don't have an exhaustive list. If I were to say that one of the ones that I know of and as we have here is involved, I would say it would probably be Shami Amore. She's power of persuasion, a lady of delights, but she's trapped in the vault of Maverus over on the East Wing. I don't know that she would have a great deal of influence while she's trapped here.
And you said that's in the East Wing?
Yes.
Upper or lower?
Lower, I believe. Let me double check. Yes, the lower East Wing. I could show you if you like. Of course, we should be careful. And admittedly, I don't know if I don't know if that's truly the case. I that's just a suspicion.
Well, if suspicion's what we have to go on.
So, what's the plan? What are we doing?
I am trying to figure that out myself. You mind showing us more of the east side of the building?
Oh, sure, of course. Upstairs or downstairs?
Let's start with upstairs first, please. We can at least talk while we walk.
For brevity's sake, Alastair, I'm just gonna move everybody.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
and
still there.
What?
Don't move me. Don't move me.
Oh, you don't want to move?
No.
All right, so you stay. Whoop. The rest of you pop on over to the east hallway.
Thanks, Sten, for sticking with my plan.
It's funny. Well, I'm also gonna whisper that or Heinrich.
All right. What did you say? Do you want to do that now, Sten, or are you waiting for that?
Sure, I'm sure it could be really quick. I'll cast message, aim it towards the statue, assuming that's, hold on, quick math. Beautiful, that's within range. Hello, Mr. Stolt, just a quick question. How do you fix that skeleton's mind? It seems gone.
Yes, unfortunate. What exactly do you mean by fix?
Yeah, I'll cast message again. He keeps forgetting everything.
He messages back. Yes, I believe that was his intention.
Third time. They're cantrips, not like it's taxing. I'll cast it over time. And if we were to undo that, how would we?
Hold on, I gotta think for a sec.
What does he know that he wants to not know?
What exactly would be your purpose in restoring his memory?
Okay, I'll cast a message one more time. This is the last time. I will not be responding to him. A knowledge quest.
Got him. You never saw it coming.
You hear like this slight chuckle on the other end of the message.
But not through the message, just through the halls.
He can respond, but I won't be contacting him after that.
Yeah. I don't think he's going to. I'll be honest. I don't think he's going to respond to that.
Okay. Then I will keep working on this.
All right.
Cool.
So he takes you into the East Wing.
So this is the East Wing. Not a whole lot to see here.
What are we doing over here?
I believe you were showing us to where the tomb is for the Lady of Desire.
Oh, the Lady of Desire. Shabi Amore. Yes, follow me. And he just floats down the hole. Boop.
The flame skulls are back, right?
Yes, they would be.
Oh, I want to see his power.
So he floats down there. And at this point, the flame skulls are in fact back. Over here, at least.
Has he ever said about whether or not he wants to keep the like status quo, or whether or not he wants things to change?
The lich?
Has he? Yeah.
No.
He feels bad about Strahd killing his brother.
He feels bad about Strahd killing people, but not necessarily like.
He said that he feels bad that he didn't see it coming, essentially.
Because he thought he was a good guy before that. Like there was.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Basically, they were friends. Strahd went full fucking insane.
Yeah.
And started murking people, and he's like, What happened?
I'm just gonna go back to the mountain, I think. That's probably best for me.
Which is probably why he fucking messed with his mind and is forgetful now.
Right. But if that was the reason he was forgetful, why does he still remember that? So thanks, Bot Slayer. Let me change screens here. I will use Doctor Who for vision since we don't have anybody down there yet. But he floats down there, and the flame skulls are back, and they don't fire at him, and he just continues to float on.
If I come down there, will those things try to kill me again?
Hello? Who's there?
The person you were giving a tour to? Alastair?
Oh, yes, of course. So sorry. Yes, come on down. As long as you're with me, they should be quite tame, right? He looks around.
All right, I'm gonna go down.
You pop on down, and they all kind of turn towards you. But with the lich floating with you, they don't attack.
So, Mr. E, I do have a question for you. To be perfectly transparent, if possible, I do plan on doing something about Strahd. If my journey does come to that, is there anything around here that you think that would help us? Or at least help me?
Oh, well, what specifically do you imply by do something about?
Strahd has done some unforgivable things to the people of Barovia. And from what you've said, it seems that, if not directly responsible, he is part of the reason why people are still trapped here. I don't know exactly what I would do about him, but I'm still trying to figure that out. But as it stands, I need more power to be able to, at the very least, stand up to Strahd, if it may come to that. Is that something that's...
well, yes, Strahd is a very, very powerful being, vastly beyond a single showdown, if you mean to fight him in a 1v1 environment.
Is there any knowledge or tools that we can use around here that would help?
Well, for... you're going to have to be more specific, friend. So you want to potentially face him down, and you're looking for ways to defeat him, ways to make him weaker, ways to, like, a secret weapon? What exactly are you looking for?
Anything that would give me an advantage of dealing with him, in case that, in the event that he is the main catalyst behind people being trapped in Barovia.
Oh, well, as far as, like, advantages go, he is a vampire, so sunlight, but it's difficult to come by in Barovia, but that, of course, is one advantage to have. Another, I wouldn't exactly call it an advantage for you, but perhaps removing advantages for him would be if you were to restore the Fanes. The Fanes, the original gods that presided over the Barovian Valley. Many of the old druids worshipped them and provided them sort of power. But Strahd, once he came in, made it a bit of a campaign of his to desecrate the various holy sites and split the bands of followers into smaller, weaker camps and spread their ability to worship, and in doing so was able to claim some of the power over the land itself in his own name, and harness it to his will. Has made him quite a powerful being in Barovia.
There's how many holy sites did he desecrate across the lands?
Oh, holy. Well, there were 3 main sort of shrines, each dedicated to one of the Fanes. There was a, let me check here. Fanes, so, let's see here. Here we are. This one, and also this one. He pulls like a couple scrolls out of his robe. All right. So Yes, there were the ladies three, originally worshipped by old and forest and mountain folk, descendants of barbarians, druids, witches, mostly appeared in dreams and visions, don't generally directly involve themselves. More of a spiritual communion type of individuals. But so the first was the Weaver, generally associated with spiders, when she engaged with mortals, who would take on an illusory form of a beautiful dark-skinned woman sitting by a spinning wheel. Spider metaphors. She had 6 eyes and a smooth voice, and she, if she were to ever reveal her true form, it would be this arachnid monstrosity over a dozen feet tall. Very frightening. Let's see. She weaves spells using webs through and runic carvings, and generally it was associated with the past, storytelling, history preserved in quilts and weavings. Again with the spider metaphors, and also had a strange affinity for dolls and other objects of complex mechanical design, clocks. Creation and animation of objects, things like that. She also tended to have the most active relationship with historic Barovians. Took not only a great deal of interest to people when they came to settle the valley, but the people started to offer charms and sending stones to protect the farms, or communicate with each other over long distance, totems to drive away spirits. Superstitious paraphernalia, as you would imagine. But most notably, she flattened and dried the swamps that once were all of the Barovian basins. So between Valaki, Berez, and Kresk, essentially, they once were much more flooded. And she made them suitable for construction and agriculture. Sometimes she was portrayed in a more transactional fashion, making deals with people, bargaining objects or artifacts or personal effects, locks of hair, fingernails, things like that. And through this early patronage and development of Barovian infrastructure, she kind of gained a following, and generally there were groups of witches who also chose to worship her, following her example. I believe that there were certain, even sometimes cults that claimed to be following.
I'm sorry, Mr. E. This is this all relevant for me to know for the being able to do something about the restoring the holy sites?
Oh, her sites! I'm so sorry, I got distracted. She once had a temple that was located in the swamps near what's now Perez. At least the entrance is there. It's a little bit wonky. Her temple doesn't technically exist on this plane. She hasn't had a great deal of influence in a great deal of time. So that would be the Weaver, and then there's the Huntress, who it seems that your staff seems indicative of perhaps some interaction with her. Are you familiar with her?
Yes, I'm familiar with the Huntress.
So then generally that she's associated with the forest, and there's a underground pond in which her shrine is held. I'm sure you're familiar with your staff. And then lastly, there's the Seeker, and the Seeker is, of course, the middle child, a bit more elusive. She is more of a fortune teller, more associated with the future and sight. Generally considered to be a more in line with water and lakes and the flow of time. Also celestial symbols and behaviors and stargazing, things of the like. she was generally most worshipped by the mountain people because of their affinity to the sky and the dependency on the rivers for water. And her temple is found up in the mountains.
Thank you very much. I appreciate your help. Dumi kind of looks to the rest of the group and is like, do you guys have any other direction that you are thinking about? Do you just want to explore around and see what we find, or?
I think we need to know everything going in.
Okay. Well, Mister, if you could please show us the way, and if anything comes to mind that you think would aid us in our knowledge quest, as well as any anything physical that would also help us. Just whatever comes to mind, please feel free to share and ask. But let us know, please.
And are you climbing down as well, or are you staying up?
No, I'll go down.
Cool. Casimir's gonna wait up top. Yeah, so, the Fanes, we were talking about, what were we doing down here?
The Woman of Desire.
Oh, yes, of course. She's, right this way. And he goes over to this other door and, opens it up. So, she would be, let's see, that one. And he points down to this. Although I wouldn't recommend interacting with them. They tend to, let's just say they could be quite persuasive and very powerful.
Oh, I don't plan to interact with them right now.
All right, well, if that's all, and he walks back out.
What about the West Wing? What's over there?
Oh, well, here, I'll show you. And he starts to float over that way. I'm gonna grab everybody real quick. Yoink. And Whee. Well, this is the West Wing. What were you looking for?
Oh, just what each room is over here.
Oh, well, there's a poltergeist that is haunting this room here, so you got to be careful in here.
Sorry.
And then there's I believe this room is empty. Yes, but and then down here, if you ignore the statue, be careful, it bites. If he opens up this door, there's more vestiges in here.
Well, what about down here at the other end?
Oh, well, let's see. There are, 3D. Oh, yeah, so, there's more vestiges in there. There's, more amber.
Is there any way to disable the amber?
To disable the amber?
Mm-hmm.
Well, doing so would let the vestiges free, which we canceled out. Oh, also there's a couple Narvics in here, old residents, if you imagine.
I'm sorry, what?
You kind of see there are these 4 like gremlin-like creatures that like turn, and they all have one big eye. And they turn towards the door. They're like climbing on the walls, and yes, we don't. What can I say? There's 4 more denizens.
Friends of yours?
Once. Actually, here, I didn't realize there's a little actual. Here.
Does the Ember control the Ember Golem as well?
Well, no, they're just enchanted to defend the temple from intruders, as most things are.
Anyway, and he kind of like flies out and shuts the door.
We don't have to deal with that. Then over here, be careful
Was
in
the
here.
other
There's a death
The other
slot
one
in
in that
here.
room.
I'm
The other one
sorry.
in that room, was it broken?
Yes, there's one broken in there.
Well, we don't know anything about fucking that.
And he goes, and be careful in this room. There's a death slot. I imagine that we're safe as long as you're with me, but well,
This other room, there was a broken bit of amber.
oh yes. Well, that would be that one escaped. Yes.
Who was that?
Well, at one point it was who was that one?
And he just kind of like looks out in the distance for a moment.
I'm sorry. What? Oh, be
might
careful
your
in here.
friends know?
There's a death slot in here somewhere. I can't seem to see him, but I know he's in here. Hello.
I don't think we need to deal with it. That right now, whatever that is.
Oh, no, I walk away from that door, and I go back to the other one.
Oh, there he is. Oh, are we not in here? Oh, all right. Well, here. Sorry, I'll let him be.
Might your friends know what one broke in there?
We could attempt, but they don't tend to cooperate very well. We could attempt.
I think it's at least worth a conversation. Push the fucking door open.
Oh, hello, a visitor.
And they all kind of like skitter amongst themselves and all look at you.
Do you speak?
What languages do you speak?
Me?
Yeah, you.
Common and Celestial, I think? Yes. Celestial
They
Common.
respond in this very guttural.
Doomby?
I told you not to go in there.
Pretty sure they're speaking Druidic.
Are you messing with me?
Absolutely.
Yeah. If anything, that sounds more like human tongue than druidic.
Alastair,
Yes.
roll me a.
Yes.
Oh, can you understand abyssal?
No, roll me a deception check.
Deception check. Yes, sir. Very good at that. Oh, but I suck. 10.
All right. One of them kind of starts chittering excitedly and like turns to the other ones. They like all kind of like are chittering amongst themselves.
Are they having a party in here?
you kind of like as you're kind of looking in, one of them, the one that got excited, its eye kind of turned big, and you kind of like looked into it for a second, and you seem to see like in its eye like some sort of like recognition for a second, and then it blinked and it got all excited.
So, Mr. E, they're not friendly.
Oh no, well oh, I'm sorry, you weren't talking to me. I'm sorry.
No, I was.
Oh, you were
What
talking
happened
to me.
to them? Yes, what happened to them?
They were attracted here because of the knowledge that we held here, and as various of the former wizards fell to the dark powers, some of them tried to commit themselves to their studies and their learnings, and unfortunately the magics of this place did a number on some of them.
Can I insight check this boyo?
Yeah.
The fuck is he not telling me? I'm rolling like shit today. 12.
Let's see.
I took it all.
Shit, 12 is like average, right?
I typically roll better. But also, it's not average when my insight's +3.
Yeah, he seems to be.
Well, I mean, yeah, go ahead. Right?
He seems to be genuine. It seems like an uncomfortable subject. And he seems almost remorseful for their state. But he doesn't seem to be lying. He seems to be being straightforward with you.
All right. Well, thank you for this lovely tour. Thanks.
Oh, I mean, of course. Was there anything else that you were looking for? And he shuts the door behind.
No, I should actually probably go catch up with Sten. I'll see you around though.
Okay, well, goodbye. I guess.
I'm going to book it upstairs at basically my full speed.
Okay.
And run right past the room with Sten.
Would you mind showing me your treasure room?
Oh, sure, of course. Well, here, let me take you over there, and Irina is going to follow as well.
Genius at D&B. Genius.
As well as Mim. And then, Andar, where are you going?
I'm right where I am.
I'm
I'm gonna go back into that hallway,
Okay.
containing the room that Alastair seemed to be interested in.
Oh.
Okay.
Inter-party discourse.
Please hold while I remember how this room is locked.
Oddly enough, it's the Kazan dance again.
Can we actually hit the bathroom real quick? Is that cool?
Yeah, of course. You want to do a quick? I want to take a quick bathroom break.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right, cool. We will be right back. All right. We are back. Hewitt, can I get your camera back?
Can I have like 1 second?
Of course. A gross smelling basement thing that we came back up from. Oh, the with all the up in the corner, up
Is Sasha in chat?
yes.
I love that. Hi,
Up
Sasha.
up over here. The secret like northeastern room. Yes, the top right corner.
Yeah,
Yes,
with
yes.
the spider things,
Yes.
or they were spider-like in their movements or something like that.
Yes, they were crawling on the wall.
Mm-hmm. A totally normal thing for something to do.
Yep, totally normal. Why do you ask? Um.
Okay.
All right, cool. So you guys walk up to this real quick. Alastair, well, let's start with Sten. Sten's been gone the most in the last few minutes. So Sten, what are you doing? Oop.
After that conversation, I'll just continue copying over stuff.
Cool.
Let me. Yeah. It has. Has it been an hour yet since I started?
It's going to be soon.
Okay, so then the quill I created with performance of creation will still go. It lasts 3 hours. But the dancing item that I created with no, hold on. So the quill is no longer animated after an hour, but it still exists. So it'll just be me and my magic quill.
Got it.
But yeah, I'll keep working on that.
Perfect. And then Alastair, where are you going?
I'm going back up to his studio to take back the book again.
He took it with him.
You're telling me that a creature who forgets stuff took the book with him so he'll forget where it is again?
He took it with him because you asked him about a spell thing, so he looked it up, and then he has it, as well as your paper.
All right, well, if he took it with him, then I'd just go back to the other hallway.
Got it. The one up above the hole?
Nope, right where Andar is.
Got it. So then let's do that first. So Alastair comes back, and Andar's already standing in the hallway.
Yo.
Hello.
Everything all right?
Yeah,
Okay.
I believe so.
I'm just gonna walk past him.
Where are you going?
To talk to the Lady of Desire.
Seems like a pretty bad idea.
Absolutely. Want to come?
I'll follow him.
I'm gonna look back at Andar. When Doctor Who touched the other one in here. Anything I should know beforehand?
They can see inside your mind.
Well, they probably won't like what's going on in there.
I can leverage it against you. I was touching it through my familiar, and I was still quite tempted. I couldn't even finish a spell.
Well, watch me, and if
What
anything
are you hoping
happens,
to gain from this?
more knowledge than Broken Mind is giving us. And maybe an ally to fight Vampire.
I don't think you're going to find any allies here.
If not, then we abort, and either I'll be able to pull away, or you might have to pull me.
Gonna have a little flicker of fire come up in my hand.
Are we doing this?
Don't know that I can really stop you.
All
I
right.
would suggest otherwise.
Yeah. A lot of people would. And I'll summon the sword in one of my hands and touch the amber with my other hand.
All right. Before you touch it, when you summon the sword, the hilt starts trying to pull you from the room. Like the minute that it appears in your hand, like it starts like yanking at your arm almost.
I'll just let it go and it just disappears. Fine, be that way, and I'll touch it.
Okay. So as you touch it, you feel this basically your hand touches the amber feels ice cold, and you watch as basically as you reach for it, the little wisp in the amber begins to kind of vibrate with this energy, and then like as you touch it, like almost like venom veins like shoot up through the amber and kind of like start reaching for your hand. And in your mind,
No, that's never a phrase you want to hear. In your mind.
Where's the thing that I want here? Oh, hold on. I need to switch real quick. Give me 1 sec. While I wait for this Ironscape to catch up. There we go. You hear this whispering in your mind at kind of the edges of your brain, this kind of like coiling feeling. And as you kind of feel this like chill go through your body, there's almost like this kind of sickly sweet, you know, like almost like rotting fruit. Like it smells sweet, but it's a little pungent in a weird way. Like you almost feel like this little like this extra presence in your brain kind of like moving around amongst your thoughts.
Hello. And who might you be?
Just a side note, I'm going to be paying very, very, very close attention to anything that even looks remotely like what it looked like when Ugly Guy broke the last one.
Yep. So right now, it looks fairly similar when Doctor Who was on it, except that rather than vibrating, Alastair's whole body is stiffened up.
You know what? Can I retcon something real quick? Just a slight change.
Sure, what's up?
Can I have given or put at the feet and or my crossbow?
Okay.
That way I don't currently have a weapon in hand.
Got it.
Kind of as a, like, trust me but have my back kind of thing.
Gotcha. So yeah, so this whisperings in your brain, and
Hello. Who might you be?
I think you already know that.
Well, I can see glimpses, images, memories. You've been through quite a lot, haven't you?
My friends and I have, yeah.
Oh no, not your friends, you. You've been through quite an ordeal, quite the journey. It seems you're missing something.
Yep, lost my soul, got it back, now I'm here.
No, not your soul, your memories. There seems to be gaps here.
They're coming back in bits and pieces, but yeah, a bit more of a gap than I might like.
Interesting.
and you kind of feel like as it's kind of slithering around in your brain, you're getting these flashes of things. But as opposed to like memories where you're physically like thinking about them and remembering them, and like it's almost like you're seeing like black and white snapshots, and they almost seem to be almost as if you're looking over someone else's shoulder at something they're looking at, and you only get a glimpse of it. It feels very intrusive, and you kind of get this like involuntary coil down your back, and you're starting to get goosebumps with some of the hair on your arms and stuff rises up. This feels
unpleasant.
It is unpleasant. It is uncomfortable, and you feel kind of clammy. You feel sweat starting to form on your brow.
Listen, I do have a question for you, though.
Ask.
What do you think of vampire?
Vampire. Oh, Vampire's a clever fellow, escaping this torment, this prison. I envy him.
One might say a little jealous, even.
Perhaps.
Any ideas on maybe how to take this realm from him?
Oh, ambition. Does ambition make you happy, Alastair? Is that what you want?
I want to bring hope for Barovia and my friends.
Hope for
Sometimes you have to
Barovia,
misbehave.
or hope for your friends. Those are different goals.
I think they run morally adjacent.
Morally adjacent does not mean that they have a similar route. Sometimes you have to prioritize.
Well, considering hope for my friends, when one of my friends wants to bring hope for Barovia, hope for my friends.
Andar, right now you're watching, and Alastair's stiffness has kind of like radiated through his body now, and now his head's kind of rolling back, and his eyes are rolling back in his head. Alastair, at this point, you have the room around you has started to fade from your vision, and you are you feel as if you're falling backwards, and the floor is opening up underneath you. But you still feel the cold, icy amber under your fingers.
Can Andar... Well, I guess I wouldn't know. But for Andar, can Andar hear what I'm saying?
No. As far as Andar's concerned, you're standing there, and your whole body is rigid, and your head is starting to peel back, and your eyes are starting to roll back in your head.
We probably should have came up with a, hey, if this happens, do this.
I'm gonna prep polymorph, and if anything alters in the amber, I'm gonna have it go immediately.
Okay. In the amber, the coils are starting to reach up towards the surface, and they're within a couple inches. They have spidered out into this big, like multi-threaded thing that's veining through the amber towards Alastair's fingers. Alastair, so you like the floor's opened up. You're kind of seeing the room move away from you visually, and the voice is getting louder and clearer.
Your friend, how noble. And what is it that you want for your friend?
Well, Vampire and his champion keep this realm under lock and key through the mist. But should we find a way to defeat Vampire, that would fade.
And what do I get for helping you accomplish this goal?
What would you want?
What would I want? Perhaps I could have Barovia, and perhaps you could be its new leader. Or perhaps not.
Where's this
Perhaps-
weird black stuff?
Yeah, I was
At this
looking.
point, it's about an inch from his fingers.
Oh, I'm casting polymorph. I'm turning him into a seahorse.
Seahorse.
What the fuck?
That's the emergency.
I needed something small without hands.
So, you cast polymorph. I need, what's the save for Alastair?
Oh shit.
A wisdom save from an unwilling creature.
Can I choose to fail it?
Yeah.
Well, can I currently choose to fail it?
Exactly. I need you to roll at advantage, as it's gonna try and interfere.
Shit. Okay, so wisdom save at advantage. Oh, I broke D&D Beyond. Please hold. Okay. Fuck. Dirty 20.
I presume that
So
saves.
dirty.
Sure does.
All right, so you cast, and you watch as the magic flings from your hand and coils around Alastair, and instead of taking hold, this like pink, like putrid kind of like rotten fruit smelling vapor starts to like exude from Alastair himself. And you watch as the magic kind of coils into the mist and fizzles. And at this point, Alastair's head is rolling back and he's starting to shake. The coils are getting closer to his finger.
Could I feel that at all?
No. To you, you are completely unaware of that.
Fuck. Okay. And then I'm gonna hold steady to what I was gonna do before.
Or perhaps a more pleasurable option. Something that makes you happy.
Andar, what are you doing now that the polymorph hasn't worked?
I'm gonna pull out my little acorn and be like, I could really use some assistance at this creepy little area.
Okay, that'll go into everybody's acorn.
Like now.
Mim's gonna gotta go, and whoosh, just zoom.
Do I hear that through the
No, you
acorn?
don't.
Fucking Jesus Christ.
Do you need all? What's wrong? And do you need all of us there right now?
Yeah, I don't know exactly how to pull Alastair off of this thing.
Mr. G, could you wait here just one moment? And then Demi will make headway to Andar and Alastair.
All right. Sten, what are you doing?
If Andar says I can't get Alastair off this thing or whatever, I'm gonna break my acorn to teleport to Alastair.
Okay.
And I'm going to be like mid tackle. I want to try to be mid tackle.
Got it.
That's sick.
That's gonna be so sick.
Let me find you real
God,
quick. They are.
Damn.
So,
I
okay.
had a plan, but if I don't know you guys are freaking out, then I don't do it.
Sten, you break the acorn. You have the acorn. You brace yourselves for a jump, and you jump and break it. You appear in front of Alastair, and in a burst of light, basically jump essentially out of the gap in the amber in his chest. I need you to roll a essentially it's a grapple. But you're gonna have it at an advantage. Which is better, your athletics or your acrobatics?
Acrobatics.
Okay, so roll me acrobatics because you're jumping. And shit, where'd you go? I just had you.
Did you say add advantage?
Add advantage, please, because you are point blank and you have the benefit of the portal.
13.
Alastair,
Yes.
I need you to, because you are pinned, I need you to roll me an athletics check at disadvantage.
Okay.
Where did you go? Oh, there you
6.
are.
Ooh.
All right. Sten, you appear and physically knock him 5 feet back from the amber. Alastair, the room zooms back up, but
And as I'm pushed away from it, I'll summon the sword into my hand as well.
Okay. The sword's gonna yank you another 5 feet this way. So Sten knocks you back. You pull the sword yanks you. You're in this dazed fog. There's still this little mist around you, and the whisper's still in your brain. My offer stands as it fades out. You feel extremely. You're covered in sweat. You're shivering cold. Mim and Irina run up behind Andar, who is standing over the crossbow with the acorn in hand. And Sten, you're sprawled out on the ground. You guys watch as the amber, the dark, like spinely veins that have gone through the amber slowly start working their way back down. Almost like ink and honey.
Well, that was beyond unpleasant.
That was beyond stupid, Alastair. What were you thinking?
I mean, do you know me any other way? When I stand up and dust myself off.
I want to push him back to the ground.
Ooh. Fight.
This is so hard to do when I'm still giggly.
Outside of this room.
What was that? Sorry.
I said, might I recommend we have this conversation outside of this room?
I agree, actually.
Fight.
I'm going to ignore everything that people are saying. Just stand over Alastair.
Yes. Conflict.
Alastair, we have a wealth of knowledge in here. We don't have to succumb to making bad deals.
I
really thought you were above making that a second time.
I didn't even go in with the intent to make a deal. Honestly, I just want to know who would be against Vampire.
Everyone in here would be against Vampire, Alastair. We already know that they're very persuasive.
But they're...
Look at you, you're covered in sweat. Well, how long were you touching it? Seconds?
I'll chime in with the actual time, assuming that he doesn't know, since I kind of lost track of it when Doctor Who was on it.
I mean, Andar was there. Andar was watching me. So,
Andar couldn't help you out.
In retrospect, maybe we should have made a little bit more of a plan. That's on me. But I promise I didn't go in with the intent of the deal.
And you failed immediately.
Yeah, I had planned that if things went south and she tried to make a deal, that I'd summon the sword and get pulled off of it, because the sword absolutely does not want to be in this room.
Alastair, the moment you touch that ember, you fail. He said you were only touching it for a couple seconds.
It was probably, like 15 total.
You look like you've climbed a mountain.
I have. To get here. And
No,
we're here,
Alastair,
so
you're finding yourself in a valley.
we need all the info we can get.
So we talked to him. Well, I don't know. Is old man lit around?
He was told to wait where he was, and at this point, he's forgotten where what he's waiting for. So he's
Okay. So we
Oh wait,
talked
no,
to the
Dunby, are you
encyclopedia-
with him?
I said I was making my way over there. I don't know when I would get there, but
So then, yeah. So you'd make there about just after Mim and Irina. So you'll get there basically around the time that Sten shoves him back down.
is everything okay? Oh,
So we talked to the Encyclopedia of Bones here, Alastair.
His mind's broken. He doesn't help us at all.
He's told us plenty. I think we've overstayed our welcome here. And then I'll take like half a step back so you can stand up if you want.
I'll stand up. I'm sorry, I did not mean to offend. I did have a bit of a plan, but yeah, maybe next time we come up with a little bit better one.
You keep saying
not exactly-
you keep saying that, Alastair, but you never do.
Let's stop making deals with less than savory characters, Alastair.
Yeah, not exactly in the mood to make another one. I just wanted to know what they were gonna say.
I'm gonna do my best Mim. My best guess of Mim's reaction was gonna be like, "Can everybody stop running off and just doing things on their own without coming up with some sort of plan? Because I'm sick of everybody risking themselves when we're all supposed to be friends and work together." If that's not what Mim would represent, we can amend it later.
I should be more mad.
I think she'd be more mad too, but I don't want to overstep bounds of character choices.
I apologize. I wasn't trying to get anybody hurt.
I also imagine she'd probably come up and slap you across the face.
Yeah.
I'll throw that in.
You know what? I'll take that point of damage.
Emotional damage. Lose 1 inspiration.
Speaking of bad decisions, though, where's that creepy elf that came with us?
Oh, shit.
Last you saw him, he was in the hole above the flame skulls.
To the fire and the flames we carry on.
There's a dragon force in here?
I hope so. It's me. I'm the Dragon Force.
Doodly 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 doodly. Oh god. This is so hard. This is so hard. Alastair, I want to help this area so that no one else gets hurt or slighted or killed.
We're trying to bring hope.
Bargaining. No, bargaining with. I mean, surely when you walked in here, you felt the mood change. Everything feels dour, evil in here.
Yeah, I was hoping the sword would help with that, but it just provided me an escape. Not.
It's coming from these things. This isn't the way to go about it.
And she definitely tried to throw what I want in front of me, but I went in there with a plan and stayed steady to it.
What was your plan?
Cocky, arrogance, and get information that she will give, because when people want to make a deal, they overtalk.
Surely that's exactly what Strahd did.
Well, I'm still myself.
Thanks to us. Well, it's dead. Strahd didn't have friends to help him.
I do appreciate you coming through and knocking me off of it.
Well, I do believe you've lost your arrogant, cocky, go off on your own and do rogue things privilege for a little while. So.
Oh, you can try and take that.
Alastair, please don't.
Is that a threat?
I mean,
I don't have to threaten.
Alastair, if you have a death wish, then you don't have to risk everyone else's lives for it.
I mean, Andar stayed well enough back. Not risking anybody else's life, I'm risking my own.
No, you risk everyone else's life as well.
I think this is a lot bigger than that, Alastair. A lot bigger.
Yes, well, mistakes are made, lessons are learned. Let's go find the creepy elf and decide what to do.
Yes, yeah, we do have business to attend to, so.
But we'll be talking about this later.
All right.
I'm gonna leave before Alastair does. A trust exercise.
I just leave. I came in with one plan, and it half succeeded.
An exercise and trust. It's a good title name.
Yeah.
I
kind of wanted you to succeed. I wanted you to succeed.
I mean, in a way, we did. I feel bad that, like, you had to break, like, above table. I'm saying this. I feel bad that you had to break your acorn to alert me that things were happening. But
Come on, it's fine.
These are dark demigods of unimaginable power. You think they're gonna let your friends interfere, or try?
You're like, hey, what if you took over Barovia? And she's like, what? I like that.
But as soon as she was like, yeah, let's make a deal, I was going to be like, haha, sword, bye.
Oh, you think they let you have control of your physical bodies while they're in your brains?
They don't have, they can't, that's a class ability. That would be an overstep of the module, sir.
That's a class ability also assumes that you have your physical body able to respond to you. A class ability to fly with wings requires you to be able to use the wings. But all of that aside, so you guys exit. You guys walk back out.
Yes. Maybe. Probably. I go back to head back to Mr. E.
Hustle into these guys here and go up the stairs into the little library and then down the stairs just to make sure that Casimir didn't wander off.
All right, you rush over there. The rest of you.
We go collect our map that we've got.
All right. I'll say it's pretty much complete. You started on like the top floor of the catacombs underneath, and you haven't quite finished. Do you want to continue, or do you want to just grab it from there?
Do I have an outline of it?
You have
like
a
those
basic
kind of,
outline
like,
of the first
3D
floor of catacombs and kind of like some of the walls made. So you have some of the outer rooms.
Well, we did pick it apart. We know to expect some 3 giant areas, so maybe we look there. I think I'll just collect what I've got.
Cool. So you head to there, and our head's there.
Were you Stormy when you walked away, or just Stern?
I said my piece, and that was it.
Gotcha.
You got some making up to do.
Also, Sten, about this time, as you're exiting the room with your things, you're going to hear some rattling of the bones in the hallway. Because it's been about that long.
Dun dun dun.
Rattling of the bones.
It's Casimir.
I have to walk through that hallway, don't I?
And maybe you don't.
You hear the rattling across the floor. They are reforming. They are not reformed.
Then I will expedite my collection. Huh. We should coin that.
Okay, so Sten's upstairs. Andar goes to check in the thing. Yes, sorry.
For Alastair, I probably look a little cold and exhausted. A combination of those.
I'll loosely follow behind you then.
Okay. So then you would be probably in the doorway, I imagine, and in the hallway see the bones start to rattle across the floor and towards each other.
Hey, Sten, we're gonna have company soon.
I'll just go faster. I won't say anything.
Mim would probably follow Andar because knowing Mim would probably not want to be near Alastair. So she'll follow Andar, and Irina will. Well, Doonby, where are you going?
I said I was making my way over to Mystery E. I was in the middle of something.
Yes, as you come back into this room, he is no longer in the middle room.
Yeah. I don't know. Where do I think he would be?
Where would you think he would be? He's a forgetful lich.
And we
Who
were
you left
just on
alone
the,
for a few minutes.
We were just on the west side, right?
Correct.
I guess I'll retrace my steps if I can find them.
Where is your end destination?
My end destination?
Yeah, like what?
I'm just gonna explore the places that we've already been before, and then come back to to where I am right now, this middle chamber.
All right.
I'm gonna leap around the east side, and then obviously I'm gonna avoid the rooms with the deadly monsters inside of them, unless I can like listen through the walls and stuff like that.
Okay, so then I'll hit Irina. Irina will go with Mim and Andar. The three of you go down into that lower room through the library, and there is no one there. In the meantime, Sten and Alastair, you gather up your stuff, and where are you going?
We didn't talk about that. Could I
we
see while I was walking? Oh, sorry. You go ahead.
Shall we meet them on the main floor?
Sure. I stay out of the way of Mr. Stolt. He has a job to do.
All
right. So as the bones are kind of clattering across, you guys book it down the hallway towards the main area again. As you basically would come into the main area, we'll go upper floor real quick. So Irina and Mim and Andar are all north. As you and Sten come onto the balcony from the west side, where's Sten's? Why can't I find? Oh, there's Sten. Sten, hello. Oh, I glitched something.
Yeah, you did.
Cool. As you and Alastair come out of the west hallway, Adunbi will be coming up from the east staircase.
Well, Doomby, did you see where everyone went?
I'm afraid no luck. Can we make a perception check? I'm like, assuming this place is like fairly echoey and big, right?
Yes.
Would we be able to like hear footsteps or like maybe any sign of the lich or whatever?
Well, the lich floats, so it doesn't have footsteps. You saw Andar and Irina and Mim head towards the library. And then as you come up the stairs, you're going to see over to your left, sitting by the hole, is Casimir.
Casimir.
He turns.
Why?
Mm-hmm.
What was that?
I believe we were looking for you, so...
Oh, well. You all went down the hole, but there were flame skulls down there. And
do you know where Mr. E is?
I have not seen him, no. Other than when he went down the hole with you.
The hole with me?
Down the hole, right in front of me. This one,
yes.
right here.
Okay. I'll call out for the lich. See if he responds.
Your voice echoes, but right now, no one responds.
No response.
Stan and Alastair, are you guys sticking with him or are you guys going somewhere else?
Before we make a decision,
Mm-hmm.
if Alastair's walking forward still,
Mm-hmm.
I'll probably chill right on the wall where I am.
okay, then I will close the distance. I'm gonna give you the canine toy that
Oh,
Blinsky made.
don't ruin it.
Why?
Alastair,
you
we
giving
got
us-
this far by being careful. We're still clunky. And I'll mimic that by pressing the button as it falls down.
Mm-hmm.
Boy. But as long as we're all together, working together on the same page, we can fix things. And then I'll release the button so it stands back up.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Thank you.
And I'll go chase a Doomby, see what he needs.
Sten the teacher.
The wise ways of Sten.
Alright, so
The scholar, the friend.
The
Um,
Wabbit.
The the wacky wabbit.
basically as you're finishing and running over is when a Doomby calls out, "Mystery!" It just kind of echoes. Ding, ding, ding.
Probably back where we first found him, a Doomby.
I didn't see him there. And Casimir hasn't seen him either.
In his study?
Oh, when we first found him. Huh? Well, might as well give it a chance. I'll go back to the study and
Careful of the flame skulls. They're
Flame skulls?
almost back. Yes.
well, I'll just keep my distance and call out for him again. I'll try to get close within earshot distance, I guess, and see if he responds.
Alright, so from where he is to you guys, you could potentially try and yell from like the main floor. If you were to try and yell through that western hallway, it would never make it. Also, you guys have proven that he doesn't recognize Mr. E as his name.
I'm just trying to call out for like to get his attention. Like, hello, anybody there? Like, what? Like, I'm just calling
Yeah.
out throughout the place.
All right. At a
see
certain
if someone
point, with you yelling, you're gonna hear a voice from the head of the statue.
Look, I understand that you're trying to get him to come out, but could you keep it down? Because I imagine that he probably doesn't recognize that you're calling him, and the racket is not helpful.
Well, do you know where he is?
Well, I imagine he's probably back in his study where he's assuming he's forgotten what he was doing.
The flame skulls in front of the study?
The flame skulls are in the western hallway over here, on the upper floor.
The study
on the way.
Okay.
You could basically your options are either you could get up onto this ledge, which is about 30 feet up.
I'm just gonna wild shape and go to the study. As a fucking like fly or something.
Either you have to go up on that 30 feet up, or you have to go up through the library, and then there's that wall, and you'd have to get him to open it. But so you wild shape into a fly, and fly
Stan,
across
do
the
you-
room.
Do you have a way past the flame skulls?
Is there what?
Asking Stan if he has a way past the flame skulls.
I mean, last time I fought them, I pretty much closed my eyes and threw like a wave out.
I guess I'm asking more, do we need to fight them? Can we just run past them?
If you're fast enough, sure.
I know I can. I'm just looking up for you.
I think I'm ready to leave.
I said we get the group and we go.
Casimir kind of like appears over your shoulder.
I second the motion.
Yeah, I'm just sitting on the steps right here.
Okay.
Yeah, I can wait till they pop out. Not that big a place.
Andar, after you check in there, he's not there. What do you do?
Talking to me?
Andar.
Oh.
I'm gonna turn to who's with me, Mim and Irina.
Correct.
Say, give me just a moment. I want to copy some spells, but it's rather expensive. So I'm gonna try to get a little more funds.
Okay.
So I'm gonna cast invisibility on myself and Doctor Who, so invisibility at 3rd level.
Okay.
I'm gonna have Doctor Who go into the treasure room with the golem and make all sorts of invisible noise on the other side of the room.
Okay.
And see if the golem goes over there.
It would follow the noise.
And then I'm just gonna kind of follow in behind it from that little hole in the wall, go to the first stack of treasure I see.
I will bring us to lower floor so we can demonstrate real quick. So Doctor Who's over there.
Making all sorts of ruckus.
Yeah, it's gonna walk over
this
to like
corner
here.
and this corner. He's just gonna fly back and forth and be annoying.
Got it.
And then I am just gonna kind of sneak in from this side. And look for platinum. If I see any platinum, I'm gonna take as much as I can from that. Otherwise, grab as much gold as I can find.
All right, so you've got a decent amount of time to observe because you've got a distraction. So I will tell you what you see. Also roll me a stealth check at advantage because you're invisible. As far as platinum goes, there is no platinum, but there is basically there's one that's copper, one that's silver, one that's gold, and then iron ingots, another silver pile, and then wooden coins. It's gonna roll a perception check at disadvantage because it's distracted. Okay, so it does not notice you. So from a quick glance, the pile right here is the one of copper. It's got some gemstones in it. It's also got what appears to be armor and shields in various states of dishevelment, and a large sarcophagus. Well, I shouldn't say large. A child-sized sarcophagus made of black wood with gold inlays. This pile here is one of the two piles of silver. Has also some armor in various states of dishevelment in it. It also has a couple large rusted great swords, and then there's a gilded chariot in it. This is the one that's the gold pile. It has a bunch of empty bottles kind of strewn about it, as well as a trunk that seems to have clothing hanging out, some jewelry, and also ceramic painted statues. This one that you're walking up to, you can see in the most detail. This is the iron ingots. There's also a bunch of holy symbols strewn about it. 12 copper chalices with silver filigree. There's a gilded skull with red garnets. Hold on. Adunbi, what did you pick up? You picked up the... I know you picked up the sword. I know you picked up a staff. Did you get the skull? What all did you grab? I know you picked up the sword, a staff, and a piece of jewelry.
I think I began typing it, and where did I type it? Maybe my... I cannot remember where I saved my notes.
Did you put it in the group notes, maybe? Or no?
No, I didn't. I either put it on a sticky note. I'd have to find it, but I either put it on a sticky note or my like document that I keep for my character.
Got it. Okay, well, if you can find that, let me know. Because I think you might have gotten the skull, but I don't remember. There's also a couple warhammers and war picks in this pile. The pile directly next to you is another silver pile right here. And it has what appears to be crystal balls. No, you got the crown. That's what it was. You got the bronze crown with the tiny green gem-eyed dragons for spires. So there's crystal balls. There's a wooden pony that's like a full-sized wooden pony, like life-size. And some marble vases. And then the last one against the wall is a pile of wooden coins. There's also a bunch of iron pots. There's an obsidian scepter that has gold filigree, some rusted helmets, and a bunch of books all strewn about.
Shit, sorry. I'm going to have Doctor Who go up in this corner, make all sorts of noise, and see if the Amber Golem follows him.
It does?
I'm going to creep down here and just shovel several handfuls of gold into my bag. I don't care about anything other than the coins themselves.
Sounds good. We'll say for 15 seconds, you're going to get, we'll say 963 gold coins.
Cool.
How long do you shovel?
15 seconds sounds great. Keeping an eye on the golem to make sure that he's not wandering over towards me.
Cool. Any more than that, you're gonna need to reroll.
Gotcha. No, that's fine. And I'll just leave
Cool.
and call Doctor Who back.
Doctor Who will stop making noise and glide out. The golem's gonna inspect the corner for a bit.
Hop
And
out
then-
of invisibility.
Think that when it's clear, walk back out. And Mim's gonna be like, "Oh man, you get to have all the fun. I want to have some fun."
I'll learn how to be invisible.
Oh, you could teach me.
Suppose I could try.
I have to imagine it would be useful.
Shall we go find the others?
Fine. She's gonna like kind of poutedly hover back up the stairs. I bet I could stealth in there too. But she's not here, so all right, so they head back up, and then are you guys just heading back into the center?
Yeah, that's where I'm going.
Cool. We'll just poof. Adunbi, you fly up to that that ledge.
Mm-hmm.
So you are over here.
Can I get inside the study or no?
Yes, so you can just waltz your way through. You already succeeded on the save, so you're safe there. You feel a slight pull towards the statue, but nothing else. And then as you work your way towards the study, you do see chilling in his study is, once his token makes it over, the lich.
I once more make an attempt. I unwild shape and I go to him and say, hello.
Oh, stand back! I'll kill you.
What? No, I was here earlier, and you were supposed to show me the treasure room.
The treasure room. I'm so sorry. I must have forgotten. We're downstairs. Oh, of course. Here, follow me. And he works his way back through, opens up the door. Lead goes back through the library, back downstairs. Sten and Alastair, were you guys staying at the top of the stairs, or were you guys going somewhere?
We're just still muted. Discord muted.
I walked outside.
Oh, you left.
I left.
Okay, Sten, what were you doing?
If he's talking about the flame skull stuff, can I see through this balcony? Or is this a balcony?
Yes. That overlooks the whole lower floor.
Then I'm going to get a better vantage point at this balcony.
Uh-huh.
And wait. And I'm going to wait. How fast do I think Alastair is? Maybe like 20 seconds. And if I don't see him pop out, then I'm going to check the room, make sure he didn't collapse to fireballs.
All right. So Alastair, but you just walked outside.
Yeah, I looked down the hallway, considered it, walked outside.
All right. So then, you would see a dune bee fly over there. About 20 seconds later, within those 20 seconds, you would hear some ruckus from over here, where the treasure room is. And but a dune bee, so you're gonna, are you just following him, I presume?
Yeah.
Okay. So you follow him. He's gonna lead you downstairs. About the time that you guys make it downstairs, is about the time. This is before those three make it back. So Sten, right about at the end of your 15 seconds or so, 20 seconds or so, you see the two of them walk out into the lower area. Oh, hold on. I'm sorry. You guys are still on the upper floor. After about 20 seconds, you see the two of a dune bee and the lich exit out into the lower floor. But no,
I'm still trained. I'm trained on the balcony. I'm assuming he's going that way.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, if I don't see him, I'm gonna dash into the west corridor.
Yep. So you go, you open the door, you see the flame skulls, they all turn towards you. You scan the room, there's no Alastair.
I would hear that though, right? I'm just outside.
I definitely busted through that door.
Yeah, you would hear a hurried movement inside.
Dan, outside.
Alastair.
I considered it, but didn't want to push the dune bee.
I'm sorry I yelled at you.
It's okay. You didn't know my intentions going in, and I definitely could have made them clearer and came up with a better plan. So, just miscommunication.
I'd apologize for tackling you, but I'm sure the floor hurt worse than I did.
Yeah. I mean, the way I see it, I didn't know how it looked on the outside, so you saved my life. Sten, what are we doing?
Here or?
Just in general. We know that we need to stop Vampire and that Strahd is his champion, but I don't know, what's the next move? What means do we have to that end?
Well, Ludmilla doesn't like him very much. I don't have means of contacting her, though. Maybe we follow up on the spy thing. Why would he have an enemy, right? Why would he have an enemy?
You mean Baba?
Yes.
That is a good question, because everything we've heard, she kind of seems to like Strahd, right? Wouldn't really hold him as an enemy, but yet, for some reason does? I don't know. That does feel like we're missing a bit of information there.
And she's not dead. He's very strong. Surely. I mean, if Mr. E is right about anything, I mean, seeming seems out of my wheelhouse. What else can he do, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, the stories, he's like a war general. And he does magic?
Well, also, we don't know where... Assume we have to break this loop, right? We still don't know where Irina stands, how she feels about him. Just because in this magical loop, Tatiana has always avoided Strahd. Irina's her own person. Irina can do whatever she wants.
I had a brief thought about that. If we broke the loop and they got married, there's no way that would work.
How do you mean?
This place is a trap for him. We're caught in it, but it's to torture him. Giving him that win, it doesn't seem right.
But also, if this loop is made by a vampire to torture his champion, and I don't know, that seems odd.
I kind of think they share a lot of similarities. When you've been around so long, you just toy with things.
Yeah, I don't know. But also, you have to think that Vampire wouldn't want Strahd to be happy if he's just playing with him. So why, if he has control over this realm, reincarnate Tatiana? Just take away the toy, make the child cry.
Maybe it was an accident. Maybe an oversight. People souls getting trapped here.
I don't know, it all just seems odd.
But Alastair, I don't know what to do. I want to get home, but I mean, every town we've been to here, they're the polar opposite of where I'm from, and I don't think I've seen a smile from anyone in weeks.
Yeah, we certainly need to find somewhere we can call safe, because without that, I mean, there's reasonably we can't strategize. We shouldn't even talk about what we're going to do out in the open. If Strahd really is the land and has ears everywhere, then he's hearing this conversation now, which is a terrifying thought, but still true.
Well, Strahd, if you're listening, let's break the cycle. Not even a breeze, Alastair. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, I thought I thought for sure you were gonna say like, if you're listening, fuck you. But continue. Sorry, I don't mean that.
I don't know if it's really that literal. I mean, Ludmilla's been doing all the work on the ground to listen for him, and she wants to probably use that against him.
But also, if they're in this magical loop of resetting souls, hasn't she done this before?
I don't know. I don't think it's guaranteed that when you die, you find another body in this place.
I don't know, it all just seems odd to me. It's definitely not back home.
Yeah. Well, hey, good news. We got some more clarification. Some solid clarification on the readings from Esmeralda.
Yeah, yes we did. I'm so sorry. Did you get our maps?
Yeah, I was able to finish most of it. I'm missing a large part of the catacombs. Which, maybe I should have started there. It's probably where we need to go.
I'm sure we'll be able to find our way.
All right. So Adunbi,
Yes.
he leads you down to this double set of doors, and you see him mutter, and the door opens in front of him. Yeah, here's the treasure room, right here. Be careful, there's a golem. It shouldn't attack as long as I'm here, but what is it that you need to see here?
I was just wondering if you had any, anything in the treasure room that would help us on our journey.
What is it, journey?
Dealing with Strahd.
Dealing with? As in... What exactly?
We might need to make dealings with him, and we might need to... And then from there, it depends on his reaction, but in general, be able to stand up to Strahd and fight him if the rise needs be.
Oh, well, fighting him would be ill-advised. He's quite a powerful individual at this point, especially with vampires backing.
But that's why we're gathering strength, and we were hoping that you could help, and you assured us that you could.
Oh, well, I don't know that I can directly assist, but perhaps I can provide some insight. Let's see, there's the Fanes that provide him power over various parts of the land. Those are significant if you were to try to,
Oh yes, you've told me about the Fanes.
Apologies.
And restoring that. And you said that you might have any material possessions here that might help us as well.
The material possessions, here, no, but, well, there's a few artifacts that are rumored to still be around. I'm not sure of their exact locations, but there were 3 artifacts that provided, well, really 2 artifacts that really would be potentially useful if. Well, when you say deal with, or do you mean, are you trying to destroy him? Are you trying to? You said fight, or are you trying to kill him? What is your precise goal? The nature of your dispute is important.
Oh, are you asking because you need to know what the precise goal is in order to know what to suggest, or?
Well, of course, in order to provide a solution, one must fully understand the problem.
Let's say that I wanted to destroy Strahd. Would you have anything that would be useful in destroying him?
So destroying Strahd with
It's difficult. With vampires backing, destroying Strahd truly is quite the feat. Because, well, first off, slaying a vampire is no small feat in and of itself. In order to not only kill... Vampires, you see, are already undead. They're not truly alive in the first place. If you're to kill one, not only do you have to slay the said vampire by traditional means, but then you also have to find its resting place and stake it in its resting place while it is regenerating in order to prevent it from fully regenerating, which would require you to find Strahd's coffin and then slay him there as well. But in addition to that, you see, Strahd is no normal vampire. He has the blessing of Vampire, and so Vampire provides him a great deal of abilities and strength that he would not normally otherwise have. And in order to truly defeat him, either you would have to sever this connection, or remove Vampire from the picture, or some other way find a way to essentially render his gifts useless. Otherwise, if you were to slay Strahd, even fully, it is entirely possible that he could just be brought back. Vampire could resurrect him. I imagine it would take time. But he would reform in the same way as a vampire would. But
to sever the connection between Strahd and the vampire, we need to destroy the holy sites, or is there something specific that we need to do?
Oh, no. The holy sites would sever Strahd's connection with his powers that the Fanes provide. You see, the Fanes, as gods of the land prior, they held certain domain over different parts of the region, and by desecrating the holy sites, he was able to claim that power for himself.
You've told me this before. Yes.
Oh, apologies. But yeah, so that's Strahd's abilities specifically. Vampire's abilities are part of his arrangement with the dark power. In order to sever that, either you'd have to replace him or figure out a way to distract or destroy Vampire himself, which would be quite a feat. I can't imagine that would be a logical route.
Okay. So we need to replace him as the champion of the vampire.
That would be one route. It would remove Strahd's gifts, at least from Vampire specifically. But of course, it would give it to someone else, which would perhaps be more of a threat. Who knows?
You said the other route was destroying the vampire themselves?
Well, in theory, if Vampire is to be destroyed or removed, he would not be able to provide gifts. But of course, we're talking about taking down some sort of demigod. That would be quite a difficult task to accomplish.
And they're more powerful than Strahd himself, correct?
Oh, absolutely. You see, the dark powers control. Vampire specifically controls this domain entirely. The mists, the trapping of souls, that's all Vampire's doing. Strahd is merely a victim.
So if I wanted to fight the vampire or Strahd, you have no artifacts here that would be of use?
Well, there's not here, but there is rumored to be both a symbol of raven kind, a sort of holy artifact that once belonged to Sergei, that is sort of an essence talisman of the Morning Lord, provides certain holy properties that would be particularly useful when fighting undead or and vampires specifically. And then there's the rumors of the sun sword, the blade that was also once held by Sergei, but the Strahd had the blade destroyed long ago. The hilt has been scattered to the winds. It's rumored to still hold some sort of element of power within it, but I would not know its location. It's been well hidden many years ago.
Understood.
You could perhaps consult with the Order of the Feather. They've been more active in recent years. Might have more information.
Order of the Feather?
Oh, are you not familiar with the Order of the Feather?
No, where would I find them?
The Order of the Feather is there's a
the feather.
Yes, the Order of the Feather. It's a group of
yes,
square ravens that have a network around Barovia. They
I'm familiar with them, yes, actually.
Oh, well, yes. They consider themselves to be enemies of Strahd, and have done a variety of subterfuge and spycraft around the region. They are very well informed and tend to try and protect the weak, noble things like that. I would say you could also potentially consult with the Order of the Silver Dragon, but unfortunately they were routed many years ago. None of them remain. Unfortunate, really. They were quite a force to be reckoned with in their time.
Understood.
Yes, these are all just trinkets, really. There are a few magical artifacts within them, but
what do the magical artifacts do?
well, there's somewhere in there. Yeah, there's a staff. Wait a minute, the staff's gone. Well, there's a magical staff in here, and a sword, and a necklace. Strange, I don't see them.
Oh, did you happen to know what they did? Maybe you would be able to find them later.
Oh, well, the necklace serves is more of an internal contraption, really. It is a command necklace for one of the guardian statues. But the staff is a wizard staff. It's let's see, if I remember correctly, it is a frost staff of some kind. Let's see, oh, it's a staff of frost. Powerful artifact, of course. And then the sword, not any particular enchantment, just finely crafted. The magical property can serves as a magical weapon.
Understood. And do you happen to know of the event that caused you to lose your memories?
My memories?
Yes. You seem to be very forgetful of late.
Well, I remember most of my life. I remember everything that happened in Barovia.
Just humor me this. If there was a powerful wizard or being of some sort that was able to trap you into some sort of memory loop, how would they go about doing it? And what would you do to what would you do to remove such a thing?
Well, a memory loop. That is quite the question. Well, I imagined most.
You think it'd be some sort of spell, or more maybe a curse?
Oh, a spell, of course. A curse would be malicious in nature. If it would be a memory loop, it would have to be some sort of enchantment or spell effect. Although most spell effects, at least mentally speaking, tend to either modify or affect certain aspects of one memory, or crush the memory entirely, making them completely rendered useless as sentient beings. A memory loop is some sort of modification, some sort of a specific enchantment or adaptation of a spell.
Would you humor me then? Because we are close friends, and I wouldn't want you to. I feel as if something has happened to you, and so would you at least let me try to see if I can break the enchantment if I think that you're enchanted?
Roll me for either deception or persuasion at advantage.
Sure.
Don't tell me which one though. Okay. No, I mean, you could attempt. I don't. I would suppose that if I were enchanted, I would know, but you can attempt, I assume.
I'm gonna attempt to cast Dispel Magic at 4th level.
Yep.
If there is a spell effect, it gets dispelled immediately unless it's 4th level or higher. Then they have to make an ability check using their No, then I make an ability check using my spellcasting ability. So like, is there a spell that's affecting it at all? Do I have to like?
Let me double check here. But I know one thing. Like, I'm not sure Dispel Magic will work. But hold.
I'm just going off of what this guy said. If he thinks it's a curse, or he thinks it's a spell, I'll try dispelling it. If there's no spell, then I don't know what the fuck it is. Good luck, bro.
I'll
say that I tried.
So yeah, Dispel Magic won't work. You cast it and you see it take hold, and you almost see like for a second like the light kind of fade from the lich's eyes for a second. And then it kind of blazes back up. He goes, "Ooh, that was unpleasant. What were you doing exactly?"
I was trying to dispel, see if there's an enchantment that I could dispel from you if you were, perhaps enchanted by some sort of spell.
Oh,
But
well,
it seems to be no luck. So
he like literally puts his finger into his eye socket and kind of rubs it. Clammy feeling, not present. What were we doing?
Well, nothing really. But if I do find some information, maybe I'll be back.
Oh, all right. Well, I'll shut the room then.
Okay.
And
in case you forget, since you've been forgetful for so long, I'll like leave a piece of parchment with him.
Mm-hmm.
And does he have like a pocket or anything?
Well, right now in one hand he's got a book and he's got another scrap of paper.
Does he have like a pocket in his robes or anything?
Yes, you can presume he does.
I'll write something on a piece of parchment and then I'll fold it up and I'll put it in his robe pocket, and I'll just say please keep it here for safekeeping and don't touch it, possible.
Oh, don't touch it.
Yes, just forget that it's even there.
But what would happen if I were to touch it?
No, nothing. It's no enchanted or anything. It's just a piece of parchment with a letter written inside of it.
Oh, okay. I presume there's no harm in that.
Mm-hmm. And then I'll make my way towards the rest of the group.
All right. Real quick, roll me persuasion to see if he's gonna listen to not touching it. At advantage because he trusts you.
Attributes.
Are you sure? Is there something bad going to happen if I touch it?
No, it's just a reminder for later.
Oh, well then there's no harm in me looking. And he takes it out and he looks at it.
Okay.
What does it say?
I want to do the exact phrasing later.
Okay, that's fine.
Because like I have an idea in my head what I want to write, but I want to like have some time to actually write it out.
That's fine. What's the like general vibe? You don't have to do exact wording.
General consensus without like all the details is that like my name, that I'm a friend, like I'll be back, just like
okay, yeah.
just like generic, like you can trust me and stuff like that. I want to add some more details into it later as well, but I need to figure out how I want to phrase it.
That's totally fine. So then he goes, oh yes, of course, I can keep this safe, and he tucks it into his pocket.
Okay, that's it.
All right. Well, then if you anything else that you'd like me to show you?
I think I'm okay for now. Thank you.
All right. Well, and at this point, Mim, Andar, and Irina would be coming down the stairs, because we'll say basically they did their thing and started heading up the stairs right about the time that you guys entered and had their conversation, and then you guys come out and lock up as they make it down from the elevator, or not the elevator, the library. Oh, well, then if you need me, I'll be in my study. He kind of floats off. Hello! And he kind of waves over at the rest of you.
Oh god, this guy. He's trying his best.
He's literally friendly neighborhood Skeletor.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's like, does anyone want to know about the secrets of the universe? Who are you again?
Ah, you're on a knowledge quest. Allow me to fill in some gaps in your knowledge.
I totally don't have any gaps. My knowledge.
Do the four of you just head back up?
Yeah.
Okay. Then, for the sake of brevity, we'll have everybody regather outside. And are there any final notes that we want to cover before we call it for today?
Not that I can think of.
Any other Amber Temple business anyone wants to address or take care of?
Oh, I guess I kind of forgot. What the hell does what's his face even need?
Casimir?
Yeah.
Oh, that was addressed during one of the sessions you were gone. Basically, he
Okay.
wanted to come
he
to
got what
find
he
secrets
needed.
about his sister, but
And he got that already.
kind of.
Well, he got
Okay.
banished.
Okay. Good enough for me.
Yeah. He has a new path. He's got a new path.
Okay,
He's-
good enough for me.
He's particularly sour.
Whatever. He'll deal with it.
It was pretty life altering.
Yeah. At least he'll stop bothering us now.
Cliff Notes version, he tried to commune with the dark power, and Andar and Alastair, I think, collectively managed to pull him off of it.
Stolt.
Well, that
Not
so
me.
Stolt didn't pull him, but somebody pulled. Andar froze him, and then
Andar and Mim.
Andar and Mim. So Andar and Mim managed to stop him, and then Heinrich Stolt, the dude in the tower, noticed, and basically not only banished him, but then point blank threatened to kill him, and said, how important is this man to the rest of
Yeah.
you?
He asked me a couple times. He's like, "So should I kill him right here?" I'm like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, whoa."
He was basically like, how important is this man to you? Because
Let
he's
me pull the
threatening.
trigger.
And so then after a little bit of convincing, they managed to prevent him from killing him. And then Heinrich had him explain himself, and he said that he was having these visions of his sister, and Heinrich was basically told him, "Oh, you've been being lied to. Your sister's manipulating you, and she was never truly a victim, essentially," and basically left him with that to deal with.
Typical drow.
So, cool. Well, we went a little bit over. We started a little bit late, but hopefully I didn't push anybody into time pressure. Is there anything else that you guys want to particularly cover before we wrap up?
2-week break. 1 week break. 2 week. Well, see you in 2 weeks.
It'll be 2 weeks. So next week, Tot and I are in Puerto Vallarta.
Yeah.
Be AFK. So no game next week, but we will in 2 weeks.
All right.
Do we level up? Take some time to think about some spells.
You will be leveling up at your next long rest out of the temple, yes. So
Okay.
be prepared to level up. You aren't going to level up right away, but in fact, if
level
you guys
9.
want to prep your level up, have it ready, and if you can send Hermes the deets so that he can update the cards, because we still have level 7 cards.
Well, you have 5th level spells. That's pretty cool.
But they won't come into effect until your next long rest.
Okay.
Got no features though. 5th level spells. What are my 5th level spells?
You've got like 30 of them.
Oh, I have like a list of like spells that I care about at each level. I just can't remember what I put. Oh yeah, I get my. Yes, I get my my circle spells.
I can finally put your token up. We haven't been on the roleplay screen much, but your new token's up on the roleplay screen.
Oh yeah, I get an ASI. Whoa.
Woo!
I just excited about a level 5 spell.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, I like that. That's the thing that I wanted. I wanted that.
All right, gents. Well,
Do we have 1,000? Do we have 1,000 gold?
Andar has most of that.
Wait, did we get a crystal ball?
no. No one grabbed the crystal ball.
Can I say that I grabbed?
Not at this point.
God damn it.
All right. Well, it's dinner time.
All right.
All right.
See ya.
Well, thank y'all for
See you
playing. We'll
guys.
see you guys in 2 weeks.
All right.
Bye.
Have a good night, everybody.
Hasta luego.
Seems like a pretty bad idea.
Absolutely. Want to come?
I'll follow him.